Run it up, Kel.
Ballin', everything flawless. I ain't gotta brag, let my money do the talking. No employees, nigga, I was raised around the bosses. Niggas wanna folk, but they can't afford a coffin. Poppin', niggas steady watching. Louis on my feet, coming socket to my pockets. Thought it was a room, nah, nigga, this my closet. Broke the money counter, I got rich nigga problems. Shit out by the biz, nigga, shit out by the Audi. Chillin' on the jet, now it's cloudy. Hit another state for a day, then I'm outie. I remember I was only popping in the county. Now nigga always lose count when I'm counting. How the fuck you still ain't touched 10, niggas childish? Working OT every week 100 hours. Say I'm acting funny, wait till I drop the album. I'm a player, got hella flavor. Phones in a bucket, everybody sign a waiver. Nigga signed, only got a chain. Nigga to myself, made it, nerd niggas hating. Money stacking up, I ain't even gotta save it. A lot of change, but I'm still not changing. Don't call me a link up, I ain't hanging. Oh deep, no strap, niggas playing. If rap don't work, then it's back to the basics. Nigga to my swag, I ain't mad, I embrace it. Don't believe the gram is a whole lot of fake in a bag or the clout. What the fuck you niggas chasing? Me? Be trying to give motivation. Shit ain't gonna happen overnight, have patience. Buzzing, nigga, I be thumbing. Niggas hella cheap, they be ballin' on the budget. 50 pop on me right now, that ain't nothing. Before I let a bitch play a nigga, I'm a dummy.
Niggas took my swag, I ain't mad, I embrace it, right? Oh, Thanos Monday, late night. Till you get right, let's take flight. How you feeling tonight? Thanos Monday, man. Mike Sherm, 415, Bay Area, ballin'.
Thought it was a roll, nigga, that's my closet. Broke the money counter, I got rich nigga problems. Shit out by the biz, nigga, shit out by the Audi. Chillin' on the jet, now it's cloudy. Hit another state for a day, then I'm outie. I remember I was only popping in the county. Now nigga always lose count when I'm counting. How the fuck you still ain't touched 10, niggas childish? Working OT every week 100 hours. Say I'm acting funny, wait till I drop the album. I'm a player, got hella flavor. Phones in a bucket, everybody sign a waiver. Nigga signed, only got a chain, nigga slaving. Signed to myself every week, that's a payment. Made it, nerd niggas hating. Money stacking up, I ain't even gotta save it. Niggas fake, I can't even trust them when they bang it. Got a lot of change, but I'm still not changing. Don't call me to link up, I ain't hanging. Oh deep, no strap, niggas playing. If rap don't work, then it's back to the basics. Nigga to my swag, I ain't mad, I embrace it. Don't believe the gram is a whole lot of fake in a bag or the clout. What the fuck you niggas chasing? Me? I be trying to give motivation. Shit ain't gonna happen overnight, have patience. Buzzing, nigga, I be thumbing. Niggas hella cheap, they be ballin' on the budget. 50 pop on me right now, that ain't nothing. Before I let a bitch play a nigga, I'm a dummy. Ain't finna talk about it, niggas know how I'm coming. Got the cheat codes, I just gotta push a button. From a place with a lot of hate, but I love it. They like, there you go, when they see me out in public, bitch.
O'clock, 8 p.m. It's him. Late night till you get right. Let's take flight. How you doing tonight? Man, get your live bases, man. Roll you up, whatever you like, man. Get you some Zuzus, some Wham Whams. Get you some bubble gum if you like you some Kool-Aid. Get you some Kool-Aid if you like to spike your Kool-Aid, spike your Kool-Aid. Because we going to have a good time tonight. Yeah, man, we're gonna have a good time tonight, man. I thought about playing the Ralph Tresvant, the You Need a Man with Sensitivity. A man like don't need a man that'll give you money. I know what you need. You need that sensitive, you need a sensitive, light skin, a hot yellow, light skin, sensitive, you know what I'm saying? And they out here. That's all I know what you need. You need a Drake sympathizer. You know, you need because you know, typically the people that be empathizing, you know, sympathize me, sympathize. A Drake I didn't make that up, man. A Drake sympathizer, you see what I'm saying? To really understand, typically they're gonna be light-skinned, man. They're going to be light-skinned, and they're going to be in for the win, man. Sensitive, man. It's a lot of sensitivity going around YouTube, light-skin sensitivity, man. You know, a lot of people feeling like, you know, that they getting assaulted and accusation against because they light-skinned, and we really going to taking Drake to task for just being, you know, a sympathizer. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to take Drake to task, you know, and a lot of people don't like that because they light-skinned, you know what I'm saying? So for all the light-skinned, sensitive, you know, cats, man, go ahead and let them know, man, we in the building, man. Sympathizers. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, man. I heard a lot of light-skin sensitivity the other day, man. It was a conversation, man. I've been really leading this conversation about Drake being whack as fuck. I just came out and said it, man. Drake is whack, man. I said it here first. Drake is whack. And I remember the dude I was trying to, shout out to the brother in the chat, my brother Ken C. He in the chat early representing, man. Early represent. I said the other day, Drake is whack. So I was like, I said, Drake bit off a rapper Forte. We was talking about Mac Minister. We've been talking about Cat Williams. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cat Williams. We got Cat Williams in the thumbnail and the title again today. We going back in, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle. We got that. Don't worry. We got a lot of live shit here tonight. I'm the one who said Drake was whack. He the one that bit off a rapper Forte. Who do you love? Bit the whole verse for Players Club. Me and my homies, we tired in the glove. Pop out a game. That's how we do it in the Players Club. 415 Bay Area, man. This the problem. This is what I'm saying. So I said I named rapper Forte. That he had to tell rapper Forte. Then he lied about the whole verse. The Bay was like, I thought Dre fuck with the Bay. How he not only gonna bite rapper Forte word for word, then you gonna act like, nigga, you didn't do it. Nigga, that's our song, nigga. This our Drake. What are you talking about? So he had to pay rapper Forte, but that's rapper Forte. Then I told you about Hotline Bling. Then I told you about the Going Up on a Tuesday. So that's 3 songs right there, right? And then I said Quentin Miller. That's the guy. I couldn't remember his name. I looked it up. Quentin Miller, that's the guy. I couldn't remember his name. Bleak was like Memphis, what's his name? Meek Mill. I was like about to say Bleak. Meek Mill said, Meek Mill issue was that this guy was not a real guy, and he had exposed Quentin Miller. So a lot of people, I gotta clarify this first, then we're gonna get into a good time. A lot of people like give Drake credit for work that he didn't achieve. And the fucked up part about it is that Drake steals in the same way as a Elvis Presley, right? Drake to me is no different than an Elvis Presley because it's always an ADOS FBA person that Drake is benefiting from, like a Quentin Miller, and then they don't end up having no benefit or monetary gain for what has happened with Drake. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem fair, right? So Quentin Miller, y'all remember what happened to Quentin Miller? Quentin Miller got jumped. Quentin Miller messed up his leg. He got beat up. It was all type of messed up stuff that happened with Quentin Miller. But Quentin Miller was responsible for like 6 reference tracks. That's what Meek Mill had brought out. I'm sharing the show, so I'm thinking of things to put up here. So Quentin Miller Quinn Miller was responsible for 6 songs. So a lot of people have some songs that they be like, man, Drake is this and Drake is that. Drake is my favorite. But most of them songs, that's your favorite, you got to give credit to Quinn Miller. He was responsible for the Drake. And then so look. So Quentin Miller is responsible for all them songs y'all fall in love with. 6 to 12 songs of the best songs that made Drake. Soulja Boy told you that first song that he got off on, that first verse was Soulja Boy verse. So everything that he ever done came from somebody else. That's what I said. That's why he whack. And then Meek Mill, who actually come from 19 years on probation, got caught with a gun, grew up in the thick of it. We see Meek Mill with braids on his hair. We see Drake on Degrassi on TV, man. Come on, man. We see Drake on Degrassi on TV, man. Meek Mill is really in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is horrible. People talk about the San Francisco Bay Area and the Bippin. You want to see something just as bad, if not worse, go to Philadelphia where everybody just linked over. We show video of Philadelphia. YouTube made it take it down. You can't show video of San Francisco and you can't show video of Philadelphia. These are American cities right now. You can't show video of. Drake didn't have that experience. Drake was on Degrassi. Meek Mill in Philadelphia, which is how he catches the case. Meek Mill has to become a rapper because he's not good at thugging. He tells you this. This is how he gets caught with a gun, gets caught. His nickname is Fish Scale. Meek Mill never sold no major dope because just like when I grew up on the street, there's so many cats that don't know. Meek Mill could rhyme, but how good is he at math? You know what I'm saying? He had to sell that house. How good is Meek Mill at math? Because a lot of cats be in the street and they can't flip a nickel to a dime, right? So, and that's real shit. That's just honest. So Meek Mill in every song is like, I'm Fish Scale, but that ain't my point. My point is Meek Mill has this real American FBA Adolf's history of tragedy, oppression that creates the Meek Mill that we know. Meek Mill says to everybody, my album coming out, y'all not supporting me. Y'all supporting this clown, and this clown is fake. He didn't do none of them songs. He not from the struggle. You know what I'm saying? His mama didn't have a drug addiction. He didn't grow up in the inner city on poverty. He's not from where we from, and he didn't write the music. He don't deserve the support that y'all giving him. And everybody got mad at Meek Mill. Like Meek Mill did something wrong. Light skin sensitivity. This is what this is. Light skin sensitivity. And then everybody ignores the fact that Drake never wrote a song. He is the Elvis Presley of this shit. Everybody forgot about Quentin Miller. Everybody forgot about Made in Tokyo, Up on the Tuesday. Everybody forgot about Rappin' Forte. Every song that you love about. Now Drake is doing Yachty. Every time he did, the last album he did 21 Savage. Remember the time before that, when we got tired of Drake, what did he do? He became Future. The reason why Akon said he never signed Drake, because Drake got an identity crisis, right? So when Drake fell off the first time, what did he do? He became Future. Did an album with Future, his style changed. Everybody questioned that, but we was cool. Y'all roll with the shit. I don't listen to this shit. I remember when Future was on the top 10 and Sway was like, is Future rap? And everybody was arguing. So Future is rap. Cool. Y'all let Future be rap. This is the shit that's going on. This is how Drake gets considered to be anything but a fraud. So Drake, the first time, because this ain't the first time we had this conversation. We had this conversation every time we find out he's full of shit. Every time we learn that he stole another song. Every time we learn Drake stole another song, we have this conversation about him being a light-skinned sensitive, and all the light-skinned brothers who are sensitive and think that Drake is getting hated on because he's light-skinned. And they think they have they think they have been getting hated on all their life. Because the complexion for the connection, ladies and gentlemen. Because they got the complexion for the connection. And you want to play Victor, your high, yellow, light-skinned, sensitive ass who got the complexion for the connection want to play victim when you the one with the light skin and you the one benefiting this colonial society, but you the victim. Oh, my God. Can y'all explain to me why the high yellow people always do the same thing as the people who wear them small black hats on the back of their head? They somehow, very eloquently flip the script to get everybody to think, even though everybody want my high yellow ass, you need to think that I'm the victim. Yeah, I'm the victim. I'm the most sought after woman. I'm the most sought after male, light skin, green eyes. But I'm gonna present a narrative. We've been talking about narratives. This is the light skin sensitive nigga narrative right here. This is the light skin sensitive nigga narrative. Despite light skinned niggas being the most sought after, light skinned women, light bright. Remember the Carmichael episode where he brought that light skinned woman to the wedding in a potato sack, and he still won the bet that everybody gave him $100 because she was so light and bright. It didn't matter what she wore. She didn't have on no makeup. It's in that episode, she still wanted people to treat her like the victim. And they had to say, woman, how can you be the victim when everybody that walked in here called you beautiful? Everybody that walked in here would want to sleep with you. But somehow, think about this, y'all. Think about how light-skinned people get away with this shit. That's one of my favorite Carmichael episodes. She didn't wear no makeup. She tried to prove a point about light skin and colorism in the black community. It didn't matter. Everybody gave Carmichael $100. Because that woman was light, bright, and almost white, and it ain't nothing right tonight. Woo, get you some libations, man. Get you some libations. Get you some libations, man. We have a good and rootin' tune time tonight, boy. I tell you, man, them sensitive, light-skinned motherfuckers is gonna be mad. Oh, man. Light-skin sensitivity. You need a man, with sensitivity, and light like me. Don't need a man that'll look too sunny. You need light. Don't need a man that'll be too sunny. You need light skin. Don't need a man that'll be you. You need light skin. You need a man with big. Pause. Light skin sensitivity. Light skin sensitivity, I know. But I'm just having a little fun. Share the show, man. It's 8 o'clock. I know this ain't my normal time. What's in that cup? What's in that cup, Mike? What's in that cup, Mike? Yeah, man, it's late night, man. We having a good time. But, hey, you know I'm old as fuck because I keep calling 8 o'clock late. I'm up past my bedtime. It's 8 p.m. Oh, shit, man. Hey, I keep saying it's 8 p.m., man. It's late, man. It's 8 p.m., man. You know, I'm going to take my medication. Oh, shit. I should have been asleep an hour ago, man. You got to eat dinner at 6 o'clock, you know what I'm saying, man? You know, take these teeth out, man. Take the medication, man. Go ahead and lay it on down, man. You know, after 8 o'clock, you know, man, it's all type of weird stuff might happen, man. Everybody has to, you know, watch out for you. But say a prayer for your boy, man. Your boy up late, man. It's 8 p.m., man. Your boy up late, man. It's 8 p.m., man. Yeah, man. Look out for your peoples, man. What we doing right now is we sharing the show, man. This is the purpose of the podcast with the blast in your eyes. It's Thanos Monday, man. We in the building, man. We talk about sugar mamas and light skin sensitivity, man. It's gonna be a hell of a show, man. Make sure you let everybody know. We talking about a whole bunch of, you know, man. So Shaunie been up to no good, man. This is the thing, man. For me, I feel like every time I feel like it's not a lot to talk about, man. It's never that it's not a lot to talk about. It's always about whether or not you prepared to do the work. And if you prepared to do the work, because if you've been granted a skill set, and I have been blessed with a certain skill set, then it takes the mental fortitude that we talked about to accomplish a goal, visualize your dream, and then make it become a reality. So when I decided to do a podcast today, I said I made up my mind, despite the topics that I find I'm gonna go in and have a good time. It presents some really good information to the people. And so as I perused the interwebs, I found a story about Shaunie. And I found a story about Shaunie and Shaunie and the how do and adultery? Do we want to say adultery? Do we want to say it like that? But I found a story with Shaunie, and I was like, this is pretty interesting, right? With Shaunie being a sugar mama, right? Because my roots is in the sector, man. My roots is in the sector, and I feel like the best content is in the sector. So my roots is in the sector, and I always like to delve into these topics because I feel like these are sector topics. I feel like they're the most, relevant. And I feel like my audience and the algorithm agrees, and we just playing, the algorithm is playing catch up to perfect, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, but I feel like these topics are the topics of the day, right? Because they are topics of the sector. The brother late Kevin Samuels, millions of subscribers and, thousands of viewers. You ask yourself where those viewers went, and you look at Shannon Sharp. I don't know if people look at, but his late night show and his viewership, as sometimes I've seen him with 70,000 live, with him and Ocho Cinco, 40,000 to 30,000 is pretty much a regular. Is for what I see with Shannon Sharp on that late night podcast where they recapping the sports events, right? And current events, a lot like what we do here. So there's definitely an audience out there. So we're going to keep cooking. So this thing with Shaunie, as I took a look at it, I was like, man, this seemed familiar, like to the sector, like the way Shaq has always taken on this false sense of morality that only befalls the Adolph's male, right? Shaq, even on his Drink Champs interview, as I'm doing my research, what is a man supposed to do? Protect and provide. And if you in this sector, I tell you, Jeezy and a lot of these people in this boule celebrity lifestyle, they really disconnected from reality when it comes to the Adolph's male. But if you in this sector, you'll realize that these type of antiquated beliefs don't apply anymore. You know what I'm saying? Chivalry is dead. And when you own Drink Champs, which is a modern podcast, a modern medium, and saying a man is supposed to protect and provide, and really you covering up for this woman. So we've always believed that Shaq has always been this bad guy, and that Shaq was always the one. Like, what do we hear about? We hear about Shaq's infidelity, right? Shaq has a baby here. Shaq has a baby there. Shaq cheated on Shaunie. Shaq himself is apologizing, right? Shaq is known to be on a podcast on a popular platform and say, I was wrong to my wife, right? My wife deserves this and blah, 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 that I was a bad guy. That's what we've always heard. We've always believed, and that's how Shaq has been able to move forward in life as a billionaire, is simply, unlike Kevin Hart and a lot of people who get caught up over and over, Shaq has chosen to say, I'm going to just take my lick and say, I was the one at fault. I was young when I got married, and it was my fault why the marriage didn't work out because of my infidelity. But that's actually not true. That's actually not true, And a lot of us had known this for a long time. So for a lot of people, it's a popular topic tonight. Shaunie is a sugar mama. You know what I'm saying? Shaunie's a sugar mama, basketball wise, and everything. Like people didn't know. Like people were surprised. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I'm like, so we're gonna get into the video that came out today about Shaunie and her recent escapades. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I want to reiterate that we understand recent escapades. You know what I'm saying? These Shaunie recent escapades, but we got way more dirt to dig up tonight on the Perfect Timing Podcast. Yes, sir. Now, I know I had something different right there. things be disappearing if you take a little while. You be having videos loaded up, and they be having a mind of their own on here of what they want you to see. But that's all right. That's all right. I got this, man. I got this, man. We sharing the show. Make sure you share the show. YouTube, I'm going to share some more. I'm going to share some more, and I'm going to smoke some more because it's 8 o'clock or some more, so we're going to get it on, man. I'm going to share the show some more, and I'm going to smoke some more before we get into the video. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go share the show. Let all the light-skinned homies know that Perfect Timing Podcast is live, man. Let all the light-skinned homies know, man, that the livest podcast in YouTube is live right now. So everybody get their notepads out, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can write down what's the hottest topics of the day, what's the flyest clothes to wear on your podcast, what's the most beautiful colors and lighting and everything, what's Perfect doing over there. So go ahead and get your notepads out, man. Take notes, man. Perfect Timing Podcast is live, man. He going in about Shaunie O'Neal, man, and he about to do a hell of a job, man, connecting the dots, man. We just getting started, man. It's going to be a good live show. And he started off the show about roasting the light-skin sensitivity content creators. It's a lot of high yellow content creators out there with a lot of sensitive, you know what I'm saying, traumatized youth, you know what I'm saying, their whole life they be getting picked by every female they ever met, you know what I'm saying. Oh, you so pretty, your eyes and your hair. And somehow we supposed to feel bad for these light-skinned suckers, you know what I'm saying? These light-skinned and modal suckers, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to feel sorry. They supposed to be the victims, you know what I'm saying? These sensitive brothers, you know, and they link up, you know what I'm saying? They link up when they meet up, man. They link up when they meet us. So now they supporting Drake with his light-skinned suckertree, you know what I'm saying? So it's a light-skinned sensitive sucker party, man. You know what I'm saying? And they in together singing Ring Around the Rosie, man, pocket full of posy, okie dokie dokie, you know what I'm saying, with their light-skinned ass, you know? Over there playing with the girls, you know what I'm saying? They was out there, they was out there shoveling the pavement for neighbors. I was honking the corner getting that paper. Man, 5 on 5. I was trying to stay to 5. Mom's working late. I was trying to stay alive, trying to stay to 5. Man, by the end of the day, I'll be copping again. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The light-skinned cats, man. The light-skinned cats. They was shoveling pavement for neighbors. I was hoggling corners for paper. Mama was staying late. I was trying to stay at 5. They was playing NBA Live. I was trying to stay alive, trying to go live. Before the day ends, I'll be copping again. So fuck a day job, I'll be killing them. It's state property. Young Beef in full effect, and I'ma be goddamn if I don't pull my ratchet out. 5.0 in full effect, and I'ma be goddamn if I don't squeeze my burner. Woo! Man, they was shoveling pavement for neighbors. Playing NBA Live. I was trying to stay alive, trying to go live. Mom was saying working late. I was trying to stay to 5. Light skin sensitivity, right? Light skin. You need a light skin man with sensitivity. A man like don't need a man now to give you money and got what you need. I got what you need, honey. Light skin is what you need. Don't need a man now to give you money. Light skin is what you need. You need a man. I had a partner, man. His mom wouldn't even let him go swimming with us and shit. Like she used to make sure his skin stayed light. Man, we used to roast him. Man, this is my homie though. He was a Crip. That was the homie though. But his mama, I think his mama was a model or something like that. So we was young. So his mama used to grease up his leg. He would come out the house with chapstick. To this day, I hate wearing chapsticks. I had chap lips. And I buy chapstick, but it's just something about putting shit on my lips. I associate it as being feminine. I only know women to put things on their lips. So I don't know how to put on lip balm. Like, I know it's lip balm, but for me, it's lipstick. You know what I'm saying? It's just a big thing for light skins. It ain't man. Oh, light skin niggas be having a lip balm, man. I swear to God, my body had a lip balm. Light skin niggas got lip balm. That's another thing, man. Light skin got lip balm. I ain't wearing lip balm. I couldn't do it, bro. I tried, man. You know, I had chapped lips. You know, I just get the little white. What's their name? The white around your lips. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't do the lip balm, man. You know, I try to get the kind that's like in the bucket. You know, in the bucket, you just put a little lip balm on. Couldn't do it, man. I can't walk around with greasy, shiny ass lips, man. I got to have chapped lips. Hey, that's a good telltale sign of a real one, man. Hey, you know, you gotta know these signs of a real one, man. You know, hey, but you know who be knowing this shit? Women know this shit. Women know this shit because my wife would tell me she'll know somebody like, come on, because dudes be out here passing. They be like gangsters thugging, but they be on that other lifestyle. But my wife would call it out. My wife would be like, nah, homeboy won't. And I'm like, what's, and it'd be like the lip gloss. It's the lip gloss. Nigga, lip gloss is popping. Oh, light skin sensitivity. Woo. That's what it is, man. Light skin sensitivity, man. Oh, man, we have a good time, man. So, got this big ass hood on it here, man. We're gonna get into Shaunie. We're gonna get into Shaunie. What's this? All right, let's get into Shaunie. We're gonna start from the beginning. What we're gonna do right here is go back. How far? Way back. We're gonna jump in the way back machine. And we're gonna go way back into time. They want me to log in. I'm not logging in right now. Why y'all fucking with me? I don't want to log in right now. But if I log in, I think it'll show better. We can make it big. Let's see. Let's see. Hope y'all having a good time tonight, man. Is it gonna make it bigger? It looks like it's not gonna make it bigger. I was hoping I could make it bigger for y'all, but it's pretty big though. We got the big screen up there. So we going into the Shaunie topic. We got some politics and we got some Cat Williams, man. But we going into the sugar mamas and the light skin, man. We doing light skin and sugar mamas, man. If y'all want to hear about something else, man, put it in the chat, man. But we doing sugar mamas and light skin sensitivity, man. That's the podcast for tonight, man. Sugar mamas and light skin sensitivity, man. So we're going to start the story. This is a hell of a story, I feel like, in my area. That's why I'm taking my time, man. I'm just playing with it, man. You know, having me a good old time, man. Relaxing, man. Smoking, man. I'm up late, man. You know what I'm saying? It's past 8 o'clock. It's past my bedtime, man. So you know when you be up late, you get loopy, you know. You know, you get loopy when you be up late, man. You ain't supposed to be up this late, man. So you get loopy, man. Kids, you know how the kids be running around, man. I get crazy. Like, what's wrong with them damn kids, man? They up too late, man. The oxygen is expanded from their brain, man. They use it all up for the whole ass gotta go to sleep, take a nap, like, you know, the baby crying, acting for, all right, no, it's nap time, it's bedtime, you know what I'm saying? That oxygen, they ran out, man. All the common sense, man, they got whacked out, man, you know. It's time for bed, man. They get loopy, man. You know what I'm saying? They up too late, man. You already can tell, motherfucker. And you remember you be outside, you could tell when the motherfucker was out past their time, too. Hey, it'd be a girl or a dude, too. It wouldn't matter. You would see and they look like a wild animal. You know, humans is wild animals. We don't never get credit for being wild animal, but they look like a wild animal. They got a wild look in their eye. You know what I'm saying? They look hella wild. You know, what you doing out this late? And somebody always call them on it, too. They be like, man, fuck you. I always... Like, no, you won't be out. Oh, man, like, that's why the whole term is like, we outside, we be outside, because the people that be outside, they can tell when the cat, it's they first time being outside, man, because they look wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you doing outside this time of night? You know what I'm saying? You out here looking like a wild animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, your eyes just looking crazy. Giddy, look, it's the late night. It ain't no fun out here. You looking like you at an amusement park. You know what I'm saying? You out too late. You need to take your ass in the house. You know what I'm saying, man? You out here screaming all loud, talking about you from this part of town, and we outside. Go your ass in the house. Yeah, man. So I'm outside tonight. We outside tonight. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. We outside. Tell them we outside tonight. Tell them light-skinned, sensitive individuals we outside, man. So tonight we gonna go into it, man. So we talking about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, man, 4-time champion, NBA champion, 15-time All-Star, billionaire, you know what I'm saying? Board of directors at Papa John, you know what I'm saying? Over 100 endorsements, you know, just put out a new rap album, you know, multi-platinum rap artist and recording artist. I'm listing all of his accolades. Come on now. Shaquille O'Neal, you know what I'm saying? Played with Kobe, played with in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Play with LeBron, you know what I'm saying? This Shaq, you know what I'm saying? Shaq Attack, you know what I'm saying? And this is the woman that we all came to know that he made the queen. He made this woman the first lady. Shaquille, to this day, even though she recently got remarried, she still has the O'Neal family name, just like Torrey Hart. You know what I'm saying? We haven't even got back to Kevin. We gonna get on you, Kevin. Don't run. No, don't run, Kevin. We got something for your ass. No, Kevin, we ain't forgot. You must have forgot. We ain't forgot about the semen on the couches, Kevin. We ain't forgot about the 3-4 side hoes, Kevin. We ain't forgot about the bitch you got caught with in 2017, Kevin. We ain't forgot about none of that shit. But we ain't talking about you tonight, Kevin. So we gonna let your ass ride. But you ain't got away, Kevin. Perfect timing is on you. Pause. But tonight we talking about Shaunie O'Neal. Henderson Reed. She's going by now. If you see it at the bottom here is her new husband. He's a pastor. She's now the first lady, Mrs. Henderson, but she still has O'Neal in her name. So recently today, there's this young brother, and this is just the beginning of the podcast. This is just the beginning of the story, because this story intersects so much. And we're, you know, right now, we're dealing with a lot of trauma. With Big Jook being murdered. It doesn't matter what side you're on, but it invokes feelings because Young Dolph was so endearing to the public. And then Young Dolph makes you think about Nipsey Hussle, and you think about Kobe Bryant. We've been through a lot of loss. And we've been partying a lot lately. And so during the COVID, I lost my mother. We went through a lot of loss. We went through a lot of sickness. You know, people had long COVID. people have a lot of effects from this disease, and everything are circling around it. So we've been going through a lot as a country, as a people, and I don't think we've got time to heal, right? And so this story intersects a lot of how a lot of these things we're learning about the treachery involved with a Nipsey Hussle, the treachery involved with a Young Dolph, and how these things intersect. You know what I said to my wife? And I haven't got into this. I haven't talked about this. But you know what I said to my wife? I said, you know what's so fucked up about the Keefe D? Is not what we're learning, because we knew about Orlando, right? But what we're learning is what we're going to learn about today about Shaquille O'Neal, right? Is that, and Chris Brown and Soulja Boy, is that there was this connection. And we always thought for a long time that what Tupac and Biggie was about East Coast, West Coast. We thought that for a long time. Tupac and Biggie is about East Coast, West Coast. And I said to my wife, I said, it's kind of fucked up to find out that after all this time that Tupac and Biggie wasn't about East Coast and West Coast. It was actually about Crip and Blood. It was actually about these two gangs. And they lied to sell magazines and to sell records, and they told us it was about East Coast, West Coast. And it wasn't. And they can confuse us about Nipsey Hussle. They can confuse us about Dolph. They can confuse us about all these things because we've been believing a lie for a long time. We've been believing this facade. Shout out to Tone Talks of Adolph's fame. He talks about the decadent veil of celebrity, right? And how black people see themselves through this decadent veil of celebrity, but you don't really know what goes on. Like, how much are black people worth? I've talked to you about a Negro ethno state and no more application process. And I've talked to you about what I believe is our erasure, right? Because the reason we had to have ADOS and FBA because, and Cameron says, don't call me African-American, and Yvette Carnell clarifies that we're not black either, because black encompasses the West Indian, black encompasses the Jamaican, black encompasses the Afro-Latino. So we're not black. We're ADOS with a separate heritage from the Negro South, the American Negro Leagues, from cotton plantations, not sugar plantations. It's a very different. We came from Jim Crow, we came from American apartheid, we came from civil rights, we came from the Civil War. We have a proud lineage in history. The Harlem Renaissance, jazz, bebop, gospel, and hip hop. That is the American Negro, that is FBA, that is ADOS. So we got to get this shit clarified. So tonight we talking about Shaquille O'Neal and his wife, and how we believe so much about Tupac and Biggie was East Coast, West Coast. It turns out that Tupac and Biggie was really Crip and Blood, and that Puffy had a relationship with the Crips, and Suge Knight had a relationship with the Bloods, and all of the things that went back and forth was more Crip and Blood than they were East and West Coast. The more we hear people talk about it is that the magazines wrote it up to be East and West Coast. The actual people from the East and West Coast, I didn't have no enemies on the East Coast. Think about that shit. I'm on the block in the West Coast. I didn't have no enemies in the East Coast. Who on the East Coast had enemies on the West Coast? Everybody had Crip in the blood now. That show you right now how fake it was. So it really never was East and West Coast. It was about the fact that these two people had got involved with these gangs because of the allure of the gang lifestyle, right? And the dirty money associated with the music industry that's been in the music industry before rap. That's been in the music industry before rap, right? So Puffy is associated with the Crips. Keefe D, when they keep saying Keefe D, but Keefe D is a head member of that Crip gang. Puffy wears blue in all of his videos. Puffy is friends with these people, interconnected with these people, just like Suge, who even though Suge went to college and owns $1 billion record company, Suge's downfall is his interconnection with this gang lifestyle, right? Same thing with Puff and Keefe D. So we thought it was East Coast, West Coast. It turns out to be Crip and Blood. So we're going to get into this story, but this story gets so deep and so many layers. As you start to peel back the story and the layers, what you start to see is, wow, this is what happened with Pac. This is what happened with Nipsey Hussle. This is what happened with Young Dolph. And we don't see the layers. We are seeing our lives through this decadent veil. We wear Gucci. We wear diamonds and jewelry. We live our lives through the decadent veil as if we're black celebrity, right? Even though we're in debt and we're in poverty. But the American ADOS, a descendant of slavery, like Tone Talk said, is worth $1,500 without the family car. Most of the American ADOS FBI are boomers. All of the wealth is in the boomers. And that's a fact. All the wealth is in the boomers, and everybody after the boomers, because this is true with white Americans too, got screwed over. So we live through this decadent veil. We see Shaq, we see Shaunie, we see Wack 100, and we want to dress and act like these individuals. So we get caught up in the fact that, oh yeah, this is what happened. This is what, and we don't really know what's going on. And when you get deeper into this story and you see how Shaq was interconnected in LA inner city life and how his wife and how all these individuals who you look at as celebrity are actual ADOS black people and they live everyday lives, it's some deep shit. So let's get into what came out today with Shaunie.
Cannon.
When she brought me my watch,
You was fucking Shaunie?
Oh my God.
Shaunie O'Neal.
Oh my God.
You know the crazy part,
No,
right?
hold on, nigga.
Look,
Hold
the
on,
crazy
no.
part, right? No, look.
No, it wasn't. No, wait.
Look. So look.
That's a wild card,
Listen,
bro.
Jesus.
She brought
Bro, what
me
do
that AP, right?
Wait, who brought you an AP?
Shaunie, right?
No,
what?
Shaq's bank account.
Look, Shaq got mad at me because I'm fucking or whatever like that. But that's that's
What the fuck am I here?
So
now?
when I proposed to her, right?
Wait,
Shaq
You
go off on
proposed?
her.
He proposed to
Shaquille
me.
O'Neal?
Yeah.
wait, stop. Wait, you proposed to Shaunie.
No,
hell no.
me.
To her.
When he proposed to me, Shaq DM'd me and said,
And
"I wish
blocked
you the
him.
best
What the
of
fuck
luck."
you got to do with Shaq?
Because he was my friend
Prior to
prior
him
to
and Shaunie.
us.
So
when
Shaq
I
know who you
posted
are.
Yeah.
Because he fucked his wife or ex-wife.
No, because she was spending money on me, right? So she got me a Richard Millie.
Richard Millie. You capping.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he's
bro.
not.
Dead
Come
homie.
on,
He's
come on.
not.
What happened to it?
I got
It's
oh,
not today?
No, he gets shot too many times.
got
He don't wear
shot.
jewelry no
Oh.
more.
yeah. So it's like at the end of the day, I was fucking. I mean, she was like a sugar mama to me on crib. So at the
So
end
you
of the
can't.
day,
Men do the
Okay,
same
hold
thing
on.
women do. I telling you right
One
now.
sec-
She was like a sugar mama to me. Bought me an AP, bought me a Richard Millie. The story gonna get better. This recent. This is a recent story. This is all recent. But when I heard this, I'm like, this ain't the only. Let's go see what's going on really. This is youngster right here. This recent.
Second.
Okay?
1 second. Let
Men do
me
the
ask you a
same thing.
question. Was you going to the house?
I was going everywhere.
Well,
She was-
what city was the house in?
Listen. She gonna be mad to the motherfucker when she see this, but at the end of the day is Shaunie O'Neal. She know what's up. I fucked her like 2 weeks before she got married to the pastor.
Oh
She
my
was like-
God.
she
You
was-
gotta get her divorced. Stop
Wait.
it.
No, she told me she was like, I need some.
So did you hear that? That's a bombshell. That's her husband right there. And you see in the picture right here, that's the husband. She first lady. Let's blow this up. You see that picture down there? Let me take down the banner real quick. You see that picture down here in that corner down there? What's that? The right-hand corner. That's Shaunie and her new husband. Shaunie is now the first lady. That's Pastor Henderson. She is Shaunie O'Neal Henderson now. Still Shaunie O'Neal, but Shaunie O'Neal Henderson, first lady of this Baptist pastor's church, and she had sex with this young man 2 weeks before she married the pastor. Y'all keep listening, man. We're gonna be dropping bombs tonight, man. We dropping bombs on them tonight, man.
Good dick before I go down the aisle. I said, Crib, I got you. What you got for me?
Oh my
she was
God.
like,
Wait,
I got
but
you.
listen, she
Hold
was
on.
like, I got 10,000 for you. I said, that's not enough. When I pulled up, she gave me 50. So,
She was trying to cop.
She gave you
dick.
50
High five,
racks.
high five,
Yeah.
baby, high five.
You got it like
was a
that?
good one.
Of
High
course.
five.
Yo,
That's what Shaunie O'Neal told me.
I don't believe that.
Nigga.
Shaunie O'Neal told me
But
the
no,
same thing.
but for
Shaunie
real,
told
Cannon.
When she brought me my watch.
you was fucking Shaunie?
Oh my God.
Brought him $50,000. Brought him $50,000 to have sex the last time before the wedding. Brought him $50,000. Bought him a watch. This is recently. This is what he's saying recently. It's Wack 100 on Adam 22 talking about Shaunie O'Neal. Let's listen to it one more time because we got to lay the foundation. We going in.
Shaunie O'Neal.
Oh my God.
You know the crazy part, right?
Hold on, nigga.
Look,
Hold
the
on,
crazy
no.
part, right? No, look.
No, what? No, wait.
Hey, look. So look.
That's a wild card,
Listen,
bro.
Jesus.
She brought
What
me
do
that
you-
AP, right?
Wait, who brought you an AP?
Shaunie, right?
No,
For what?
Shaq's bank account.
Look, Shaq got mad at me because I'm fucking or whatever like that. But that's that's
What the fuck am I here?
so
right now?
when I proposed to her, right?
Wait,
Shaq
You
go off on
proposed?
her.
He proposed to
Shaquille
me.
O'Neal?
Yeah.
wait, stop. Wait, you proposed to Shaunie.
No,
hell no.
me.
To her.
When he proposed to me, Shaq DM'd me and said,
And
"I wish
blocked
you the
him.
But
best
what the
of
fuck
luck."
you got to do with Shaq?
Because he was my friend
Prior to
prior
him
to
and Shaunie.
us.
So
So when
Shaq
I
know who you
posted
are.
Yeah.
Because
Because-
he fucked his wife or ex-wife.
No, because she was spending money on me, right? So she got me a Richard Millie.
You got Richard Millie. You capping.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he's
Come
not.
Dead
Come
homie.
on.
He's
come on.
What
not.
happened to it?
I got
Just not today?
No, he gets shot too many times.
got
He don't wear
shot.
jewelry no
Oh.
more.
yeah, so it's like at the end of the day, I was fucking. I mean, she was like a sugar mama to me on crib. So at the
So
end
you
of the
can't,
day,
men do the
Okay,
same
hold
thing
on.
women do. I telling you right now.
1 second.
Okay?
1 second. Let
do
me
the
ask you a
same thing.
question. Was you going to the house?
I was going everywhere.
Well,
She-
where,
she was-
what city was the house in?
Listen. We she gonna be mad to the motherfucker when she see this, but at the end of the day is Shaunie O'Neal. She know what's up. I fucked her like 2 weeks before she got married to the pastor.
Oh
She
my
was like-
God.
she
You gotta
was-
get her divorced. Stop
Wait.
it.
No, she told me, she was like, I need some good dick before I go down the aisle. I said, Crib, I got you. What you got for me?
Oh my
she was
God.
like,
Wait,
I
I got
no,
you.
listen, she
Hold
was
on.
like, I got 10,000 for you. I said, that's not enough. When I pulled up, she gave me 50.
Perfect type of podcast with the blast day. Ain't nobody got this exclusive, man. Somebody, they gonna be on it tomorrow, man. Yeah, man. He pulled up, gave 50, man. She gave 50. So I do my research, right? I do my research. So I know Shaunie. Shaunie done done this shit before. Let me get my spectacles out so I can read. We're gonna go to the article. We're gonna go to the article before we go to our next video. Shaunie done this shit before. So I find this article that leads me down the trail that we go down tonight, where you got the banner that you got right now in front of you. So there's a banner in front of you, and the banner says Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, Shaunie O'Neal, cheated on him with 3 men, and $400 million was extorted by one of them. Oh yeah, man. Y'all thought it was just gonna be Shaunie as a sugar mama. No. Perfect timing podcast with the blast on their ass with a motherfucking scoop. A loop de dope day. A scoop de loop de dope day. So he talking about recently having sex with Shaunie, and Shaunie to this day ain't, even though that she didn't marry the pastor, she ain't changed not only her adulterous cheating ways, but her habitual line stepping, high yellow sensitive, no good victimization ass, treacherous, murderous, plot, extortionist ass ways. Y'all know what I'm saying? So check this out, man. Let's go back to the article, man, and then we're going to go to some video evidence. That's a hell of a motherfucking bombshell. So Shaquille O'Neal, ex-wife, cheated on Shaq 3 times. That right there is a coffin nail for the night. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, whoa. Cause I ain't got my coffin nail sound effects. So whoa, whoa. That's the coffin nail, man. Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq. So think about his Drink Champs interview and what you thought about Shaq, man. Everybody thought Shaq was the bad guy, man. Shaq was the bad guy. So let's see what the article says. Shaquille O'Neal, as we know it, is one of the most dominant players in the NBA. In his prime, he was an unstoppable force. On the court, Shaquille O'Neal has done it all. 4-time NBA champion, 3 times finals MVP, NBA MVP, 15-time All-Star, and has 14 All-NBA selections. Off court, Shaq has somewhat a turbulent relationship with his ex-wife, Shaunie O'Neal. They have been multiple times when Shaq accused cheating on Shaunie. This is never discussed. This is what I want to get at. The fact that all the time is that in this sector, we as men take the brunt and the responsibility for these women, and we shouldn't. Unjustly, Shaq has always said, and it may have been strategically, you know, I need somebody to produce me so I know where to have a microphone, so I know so all the beautiful ladies can see my face, so I can have a microphone at the proper place so you can hear me, but you can still see which my beautiful, yeah, man. Shaquille O'Neal, man, we always believe he was the bad guy. He the one said, he the one says in interviews, I cheated, I ruined the relationship, and I think it's because of the story we're gonna uncover tonight. Wack 100, I believe he presented this story on No Jumper so that internet sleuths like myself would do the research and find this story. So Wack, think about, because Wack 100 is connected to the story that we're about to get into. So today, what was released? Shaunie O'Neal was cheating on her ex-husband, Shaquille O'Neal, and her new husband, Pastor Henderson, with a known gang member in LA and paid him $50,000. That's what came out today, right before her wedding. A known gang member from the Crip gang. So now I did my research. I believe Wack 100 wanted me to do the research. I got me a new back pillow today. Gotta make sure I got my back support. You know, I'm up late, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So take off my shoes. Oh, that feel better. So Wack 100, I believe he wanted the YouTube sleuths to do the research and come up with this bombshell right here that Shaunie O'Neal did not only cheat with this young man recently as 2023 and 24, but when she was married to Shaquille O'Neal, she cheated on Shaquille O'Neal 3 times, and one of the persons that she cheated with was also a gang member and attempted to extort Shaquille O'Neal for $400 million. And some people may remember this, and people tie this story to why Shaquille O'Neal left LA. This is not a small story. This is interconnected with Tupac, with the bodyguards from Tupac and Death Row and Suge Knight. This is all interconnected, and we never knew it because Shaq always says he's the bad guy and he cheated. There's this thing we call them sympathizers in this sector who people want to be the guy. It's always somebody who want to put on their cape and say men are supposed to protect the woman no matter what they do, and don't want to have women take accountability. It's always these people, right? And we see them a lot in the sector. So Shaquille O'Neal has played this role, and come to find out that Shaunie is the Queenpin. The whole time, Shaunie is the Queenpin. Let's get back to the article. So, however, in 2008, it was discovered that Shaq wasn't the only adulterer in the marriage. Shaunie also had affairs with at least 3 different men while she was married to Shaq. One of these men tried extorting money from the $400 million worth NBA legend, right? Music producer was having an affair and had Shaq sex tapes. Shaquille O'Neal shares his business with manager and music producer named Robert Ross due to their common circles. This is how I'm going to give you the details from the video, but listen how the article was written. Due to their common circles. We're going to break down what common circles mean. Now, remember, I gave you the understanding of Keefe D and how these celebrities, the Decadent Veil, and how they're intertangled with these inner city entities, right? So the way the article was referring to these inner city entities and the relationships are common circles between Shaquille O'Neal and a known inner city entity. The two became friends in 2008. Ross filed a police case claiming that listen to this, claiming that Shaquille O'Neal had a group of men ambush, kidnap, and assault him to reveal the location of the star's sex tapes. That I told you I'm gonna be doing some coffin nails tonight. I wish I had. Oh, man, come on, man. Somebody in the chat will be like, I remember this. I know, hey, shout out to my brother Street Doctor. They going live with the 4th quarter. That's a hell of a show over there. Y'all subscribe to the Street Doctor, but this is some of that sports shit. I tell you, it be your mind. That's why I love what Street Doctor is doing, because when you mentally get your mind wrapped around a goal of yours and you put it, it's so fly what they doing. So I understand what's happening over there. Same thing happening over there. God is good, blessing all of us, positive people doing good things, you know, making sure that we create great content for our audience, and it's going to be our time soon. So you know what I'm saying? This is some hell of a storytelling that we doing tonight, kid. This is something you can go tell your homies and be like, man, do you remember this? Did you hear about this? And they're going to be like, what? Hold on, wait a minute. What'd you just say? Yeah, man. Shaquille O'Neal, man. Shaunie, think about everything you know. Shaq had a baby. Remember, Shaq was a police officer. Shaq dated hoops, but none of us ever heard about this right here. None of us ever heard about, look at this, what this says. New lawsuit claims that Shaq ordered murders, assault, and kidnapping of former friend Robert Ross. This is July 5th, 2011. This shit like under the rug. This is a hell of a bombshell. This is only on the Perfect Timing podcast. Let me take down this banner. Ain't nobody gonna present this to you. This is a tweet from 2011. That's what this is. This is a story. They don't even tell you about the truth about what's been going on. Shaq ordered a hit. How would Shaq, what association did Shaq have that would put him in a position to order a hit? And then Shaq ordered a hit because his alleged, listen to this, his alleged friend was sleeping with his wife, and through his illicit relationship with his wife, Shaunie O'Neal, he obtained sex tapes. And because he got those sex tapes, he tried to extort Shaq. And when he tried to extort Shaq did this. Aren't we living in a time of Rico? Aren't we living in it? It's funny that Wack 100 would go to, think about what happened today. Wack 100 went to Adam, no jumper, and presented a story about Shaunie O'Neal sleeping with this young man right before she marries the pastor, becomes First Lady Shaunie O'Neal. Covering, I told you, what does marriage do? Marriage legitimizes you, right? Before she gets married to a pastor to legitimize her, she sleeps with a known gang member. And then Wack 100 brings it to Adam 22. If you're a journalist, if you're a YouTube journalist, you're going to go do your research. And what did you uncover when you research Shaunie O'Neal cheating? Well, you uncover an article that says she cheated 3 times, and you uncover the fact that Shaq was associated. Let me see what the article said. Shaq had common circles, and through Shaq's common circles, these common circles empowered Shaq to put out a kidnap and a murder hit to get back the sex tapes. And we've never heard about it. We never heard about it until Wack 100 brings this story to Adam 22. You think Wack 100 did that by accident, or did he know that the internet and YouTubers like myself was going to go do research and uncover this shit? Now, I'm not done showing you. I'm going to show you the police officer from the Death Row Tupac case who was involved with this case. I'm going to show you the death row security guard who was involved with this shit. Reportedly, Ross tried to extort money out of Shaq to keep the matter quiet, which did not work. Shaq was found to be innocent on all counts, and Ross was deemed a career criminal for his accusations. So Shaq was actually charged. If this was 2024, Shaq would be on a Rico. If this was now you might say, Perfect, why do you say Shaq would be on the Rico? If this was 2024, we got to get into it. This is a hell of a story. Now, remember where we started. Remember where we started. We started with Shaunie O'Neal Henderson being married to a pastor and being the first lady of a Baptist church and being exposed for having sex 2 weeks before getting married to the pastor and becoming the first lady. I do my research. I uncover, because I remember Shaunie had bought a penthouse for another boy toy, and Shaq got upset. I couldn't find the penthouse. Instead, I find extortion. I find ties to inner city illicit groups. I find ties to Tupac, Nipsey, Dolph. This shit is a motherfucker right here. This shit is a motherfucker right here. Perfect Time Podcast with the Blast. I had to do this. I had to do this for y'all. Shout out to AGTV, man. Shout out to AGTV. Y'all kick back.
I always wondered about this.
Fair use. So if you don't remember this guy, this is the guy who got Keefe D arrested. He was on the task force. He was on the Vegas, LA task force. This white boy, right? Remember we did a story on him. Let me get something to drink. We did a story on him because he wrote a book called Blood or something. He's the one that had all the evidence on Keefe D. He's a police officer, but he's also involved with the Shaquille O'Neal case. This is a case. This is a real case that if it happened today, Shaq will be getting charged with Rico.
Your connection, what's the story with behind Wack 100, aka Cash Jones, Shaq, Stutterbox, and yourself?
Well, I only know, all of those guys through the investigation. I know of all of them because of this ongoing investigation that took, 3.5 years. So Stutterbox was the beginning of it, right? He came forward because he had been, prior to me meeting with Stutterbox, me and Darren Dupree, he was involved in these extortion attempts towards Shaq, because he had been hooking up allegedly with Shaq's old lady. And then he was trying to extort money out of Shaq, saying that he was going to release, photographs or, compromising, things about Shaquille. And Shaq had a friend that I think his name was Mark Turner or something like that. Don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy, Mark, knew the shot caller, the head guy for the gang that Stutterbox was associating with, which was the Main Street Crips. And his name was Del Dog. And so, Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta swear your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox. Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes running to law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows something about Biggie's murder. He tells us there's this guy named Cash Jones, who's a big dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. So we're like, oh shit, okay, well, that's interesting. If we can get some leverage like that on Suge.
So, are y'all hearing this? I feel like I gotta go get my sound effects because I feel like I'm so excited tonight, man. I feel like I gotta go get my sound effects. I cleaned up my desktop. I told you I did some stuff with my computer, man. So my sound effects is not where they normally would be. I cleaned them up. So I gotta go get them, man. Cause this is too much, man. This is too cool for school, man. This is what I mean. This is just okay. Here go the sounds. Let me move this over here. I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. What I got in here? What do I got in here, man? I need some sounds, man. I need some sounds, man. Here we go. All right, that felt good. I felt good. One more time. Is it ready for me? It take a minute to reload, man. Take a minute to reload, man. Reload! 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 We need more ammo! We need more ammo! Reload! It take a minute to reload, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I had to. That felt better. That felt better, man. That felt better, man. So I had to get that off because I love what I'm doing. So Cash Jones is Wack 100. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. So Cash Jones is Wack 100. We don't know him as Cash Jones, but that's how they know him on the paperwork. That's how the police and the feds know him. And the individual who was sleeping with Shaunie got beat up and told the police about somebody named Cash Jones, who we know as Wack 100. That's what the story is now. That's what this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
They discipline and threaten Stutterbox. Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes running to law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows something about Biggie's murder. He tells us there's this guy named Cash Jones, who's a big dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. For Suge.
I want to trying to get it right there. Yeah, there you go. Have we seen this before? Have you seen this before? This Perfect Timing Podcast with the Blast. Y'all know who it is, man. Who else is it in the building? Who giving y'all this type of shit, man? It's Perfect Timing Podcast. Cash Jones, a.k.a. Wack 100. Right here on the Perfect Timing Podcast with the Blast, man. Ain't nobody doing this shit, man. Yeah, man. Ain't nobody doing this shit, man. Ain't nobody doing this shit like we doing it, man. Perfect Timing Podcast with the Blast, man. Cash Jones right here in the car with Suge Knight. We know him as Wack 100. I never knew his name was Cash Jones. If you're watching right now, you blessed. If you're watching and you're a content creator, you're gonna have some hell of a content to present. Man, I told you this story, Ken. I told you I know Ken be falling asleep. Ken, hey, it's late for me. It gotta be late for Ken. You know what I'm saying? So Ken be falling asleep. He be on this shit though, man. He been there early, man, supporting me. Thank you, brother, man. I love you, man. But I had to take my time with this, man, and load this one up for you, man, so that you could have a hell of a show. This one you could listen to over and over again and break this shit down. Like, what the fuck is Perfect done again? Perfect did it again. So Cash Jones is known as Wack 100, but when he was affiliated with Suge Knight, he was known as Cash Jones. And he was turned in to the police by the individual who was sleeping with Shaunie O'Neal. So that means Cash Jones, a.k.a. Wack 100, has a motive for turning in Shaunie O'Neal and telling everyone about her transgressions. Cash Jones, a.k.a. Shaunie O'Neal. Cash Jones, a.k.a. my bad. Cash Jones, a.k.a. Wack 100, is motivated to present what he presented on Adam 22 today because the individual who she slept with in the past turned him into the feds. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect Timing Podcast putting this shit together, man. Let's go.
Dope dealer for Suge Knight. He's a truck driver. So we're like, oh shit, okay, well, that's interesting. If we can get some leverage like that on Suge, like a Keefy D thing, right? And so we go and start investigating Cash Jones, and we spend months, and it becomes very, very clear he's not doing anything other than working his ass off, pushing his truck, trying to get some magazine off the ground, and he's just hustling. He's certainly not dealing any dope. And so we realize that Stutterbox is just feeding us this bullshit. In fact, Stutterbox goes so far as to tell us, hey man, this dude's house is loaded with weapons. It's like Beirut in there, he's got all kinds of illegal weapons. So we do a search warrant at the house. Of course, don't come up with shit.
Wow.
And so eventually we, contact Cash Jones and Wack, and it's like, hey man, here's the story. This is why we're here. Kind of fucked up. Sorry. We're being led on by this individual who claims you were doing all these things. And so, we're washing our hands of it all. And that's it. That's how Stutterbox, was dealing with some extortion bullshit with Shaq. He turns us on to Cash Jones, which turns into an absolute wild goose chase, a waste of time. And it's the story.
How does
Wow. So Wack 100, aka Cash Jones, would definitely have motivation against Shaunie O'Neal, because not only does he get investigated because of Shaunie O'Neal and her bullshit, his house gets raided. He gets brought in for questioning by the feds. We have never heard any of this. We never heard none of this. Wack 100, aka Cash Jones, got brought in by the feds, questioned, and his house raided, all behind Shaunie O'Neal bullshit. He is saying right now, Cash Jones wasn't selling no dope. He was just driving his truck hustling. That's what he's saying. I got another video. He's saying Cash Jones wasn't selling no dope, but he just showed a picture of him in the car with Suge Knight. And he driving the truck. And he Wack 100 now. This is a hell of a story, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
how does the relationship end with Stutterbox and Shaq? Or how does that resolve?
It doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing there. It's just a bunch of, Stutterbox is a really interesting character. He may be one of the worst people that I've ever come across insofar as how devious he is. I wish we'd have known all of this, in the beginning, but it's things that we learned in hindsight. That thing was never going to go anywhere. He was hoping that Shaq would ship him off some money and make the whole thing go away. But Shaq was like, nah, I'm not going to get extorted by this fucking clown.
Right. Wow. That was a great story, huh?
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah, because I was wondering how did that fit? Because I know I saw it in one of the episodes of Unsolved. You went on. His character was pulled up in a Rolls Royce and everything.
So exactly the way it was. He was driving one of the very first day we met him at a Starbucks up in West Hollywood. Mm-hmm. He pulls up in a Phantom Rolls Royce, and so living in a really nice house and wearing all kinds of bling. So it's a really interesting thing. But he gets it all through, criminal misconduct.
Right.
Now think about what we just learned. We just learned that the police knew that Shaq called the hit. Now I just read to you an article. About Shaquille O'Neal and this young man going to the police. I just read to you an article about this young man going to the police saying that he got kidnapped and attempted murder. He survived. He went to the police for protection. Part of his protection, he gave them Cash Jones. He gave them Shaquille O'Neal. Think about this, what happened. Somebody gets kidnapped, almost murdered. He runs to the police like it's like 6ix9ine. If this was 2024, think about how this would play out 2024. Someone gets kidnapped, almost murdered, they get alive. They don't got nowhere to go, so they go. This is always how I go. This is real life. This ain't a video game. So I don't have nowhere else to go. They're going to kill me. I go to the police for protection. The white man waiting for me. Come on in, nigga. What you got for me? What you got for me? Or I'm going to send you back out on the street and they're going to kill you. I don't give a fuck about your black ass. What you got for me? What you got for me? And I ain't giving you no deal. You're going to jail for 20 years. And I ain't giving you no deal. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. Remember Al Pacino? Give me what you got. Give me what you got. And you ain't getting no deal. You're getting 20 years. So he said, I'll give you Cash Jones. He moving big dope for Suge Knight. I'll give you Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal is a gangster. He not a basketball player. And he the one called the hit. Oh, Shaquille O'Neal called the hit? Yeah, because I'm fucking this bitch and I got a videotape and they tried to kill me for the videotapes. And what did the police just say? The police said Shaquille O'Neal had connections. The article says Shaquille O'Neal has similar circles. I'm going to play one more video for you that's going to give you the fucking purple or the bombshells, man. A kerfuffle. A fucking kerfuffle. He said Shaquille O'Neal knew somebody named Mark who knew the leader of this Crip gang who was Del Dog. That's the way the white police officer knows the story. The white police officer knows the story. This is the story. But the thing is, when this is a narrative, and this is in paper, this is in ink. Now, I'm gonna unravel it, but what's in ink is what this white boy is saying. What's in ink, what's in the police report is that Wack 100 is not a drug dealer. Wack 100 is also Cash Jones. He's a hardworking individual. He started a magazine what led to a record label. Shaquille O'Neal was extorted. Shaunie O'Neal slept with the known gang member. That gang member ended up with a sex tape. Shaquille O'Neal had a friend who had connections to the inner city. These individuals exacted revenge on this motherfucker, and everything went away, and the police were okay with that. Do y'all get what's happening? The police were okay with the fact that Shaq took care of it on his own. Remember, Shaq is a police officer. Y'all know everywhere Shaq go and play, he become LAPD. He was PD in Cleveland and Miami. Shaq is a police officer. Everywhere he go, he becomes a police officer. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all remember that, right? So that he is saying that he is okay with Shaq calling the shot. That wouldn't go down in 2024. He's saying that in our investigation, we uncovered that Shaq called somebody named Mark, and then Mark called the leader of the Crips, and then they went and handled that business.
Stutterbox is scared for his life, so he goes running to law enforcement. So law enforcement gets involved in him. Then during that process, he mentions that, he knows, don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy, Mark, knew.
So Mark Turner from Atlanta. So according to the police report and the narrative, I'm gonna play something that's gonna contradict this narrative. But we gotta lay the groundwork for the narrative because I need you to understand this individual is a police officer. He did the investigation that took 3 years, and this is in ink. Despite whatever YouTuber may come up with, what's in ink is what's gonna be said right now. I'm going to play something that's going to contradict this, that's going to make more sense when you think about Nipsey Hussle, when you think about Tupac, when you think about all this other bullshit. But think about what he's about to say right now. What's in ink and the police report and investigation is this right here.
Shaq had a friend that I think his name was Mark Turner or something like that. Don't hold me to that name, but I think his name was Mark Turner, a guy from Atlanta. And that guy, Mark, knew the shot caller, the head guy for the gang that Stutterbox was associating with, which was the Main Street Crips. And his name was Del Dog. And so, Shaq's like, man, this clown's trying to extort money from me, blah, blah, blah. He tells Mark. Well, Mark reaches out to Del Dog and says, man, you gotta swear your guy away. Can you deal with Stutterbox? Tell him to knock this shit off. So Del Dog and the Main Street Crips go and they discipline and threaten Stutterbox.
So you hear this? He's like, he's okay with the fact Shaq called some guy named Mark Turner. This is in the police report. Shaq called somebody named Mark Turner. Mark Turner knows the leader of the Crips. The individual who's sleeping with Shaunie is a member of this Crip gang. That individual exact revenge on this individual for trying to extort Shaq, according to the police report. Now I'm gonna play something that's gonna contradict that, but I had to lay down for you guys what is in the police report. In the police report, which was condoned, it was condoned that Shaq called Mark. Shaq called Mark, knowing that Mark would call not the police, but Mark would call a gang member, and they would do illegal, illicit violence. And that was okay. That was condoned by the police investigating this investigation. Shaq literally did call a hit. So when he snitched on Shaq, he was telling the truth. But they was just saying they was okay with it. Y'all see what they was saying? They was okay with it. Where's my other video? Oh man, I got another video I want to show y'all. Okay. Yeah, it was canceled because I gotta find it now. Now I got the video. Okay, so trip off what you've heard so far tonight. Shaunie Henderson O'Neal Henderson, married to a pastor, first lady. Wack 100 exposed her today for paying $50,000 to a young man to have sex before she married the pastor. In my research, I found that Shaunie had done this once before, so to the effect that Shaquille O'Neal was extorted and that Shaquille O'Neal was investigated for homicide and kidnapping. Think about what I just said to you. Think about what I said to you. Shaquille O'Neal was investigated for homicide and kidnapping behind Shaunie O'Neal's cheating. It's almost unbelievable. And what we've heard from the investigating police officer is that they know for a fact that Shaquille O'Neal called the hit. The investigating police officer said that Shaq called someone named Mark Turner. Mark Turner called someone in a gang who then did the revenge for Shaquille O'Neal. This is what the police have on record, and he was never charged or held accountable for that phone call. That's where we're at right now. So now I'm going to give you further evidence to crystallize what actually happened. Because right now, what you have from the police is that Shaquille O'Neal made a phone call and someone got beat up because his wife was cheating. That's what you have from the police. Now I'm going to give you information, intricate details about what I can't say actually happened, but allegedly may have happened to help crystallize this story. Now, the investigator that I just showed you is the same investigator that got you Keefe D. Now, this guy should look familiar. Also, this is Reggie Wright, police officer, security guard, friend of Suge Knight, got the death row chain on. He's also involved with the Shaquille O'Neal extortion and murder plot.
People have asked, you've talked about it here and there in interviews, but I don't think we've ever done a full breakdown of the situation with Shaquille O'Neal and why you believe he truly left LA as far as the Lakers.
Yeah, I wanted to research it a little more. Didn't research it like I wanted to. And y'all know what that means. Talking to the actually police officer, and that was involved in the case. But I have talking to
fair use
police officers before. Because like I said, y'all don't know that this was a guy that was on Greg Katie's original task force that handled this. But anyway, so what happened was Shaq somehow got up under, for those of y'all don't believe it, say, oh, Shaquille O'Neal don't need to hang out with no Main Street Mafia Crip guys or gang members. That's crazy. Never heard of that before. Well, just go listen to on Shaq, one of his latest podcasts, where they talked about Del Dog and gave him a shout out and all of that on that particular podcast. And so Shaq was in deep.
Back to Del Dog, right? Now remember, when the police officer told you the narrative, they had a degree of separation between Shaq and Del Dog, as if Shaq had never met or known or seen Del Dog. Y'all got to pay attention. You know, I'm a journalist, so that's why I'm stopping and letting you know where you at. The police officer in his investigation, he put a degree of separation between Shaq and Del Dog, as if Shaq didn't know Del Dog or these individuals. Now, Reggie Wright is contradicting that.
With mainstream mafia. As y'all saw from the interview that we posted up about Wack 100 and my boy Stutterbox, all doing that interview with the smoke detector going off, he was hollering, Main Street Mafia. He threw up the sign and everything. And so this is what happened, y'all. They were eating. Shaq was looking out for them, hooking them up and taking good care of them, which, whatever reason, it didn't happen. Cash Money did it with the Bunny Hunters, and that's why Lil Wayne still sometimes out here with my boy Term and all them claim looters on the mob, I think mob area. You know, so gangs get up under guys, or artists get up under guys from gangs in LA, and they start repping corrupt Philly boy, claiming 60 Crips. You know, that's a little bit of a stretch because, you know, I know he was young, 17, when that happened. So I'll give him a little credit for hanging with the 60s a little longer. But a lot of these rappers made it, like Chris Brown. He claimed Fruitown Baru. Nigga ain't never had a house in Compton in his life. But that happens. And so Shaq got.
So he's saying that Shaq got involved the same way Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, and Corrupt got involved. When Shaq was playing basketball in LA, just like Puffy got involved, just like everybody got involved. That's what's going on. Just like Nipsey Hussle, just like Dolph. Just pay attention.
Got up under the main streets. And was cool with him. And he mainly got cool with this dude Stutterbox. I forget how the relationship go. A lot of y'all tell me that I always heard that he was closely related to Minister Farrakhan, like a nephew or something. But they say, oh, his sister, he don't have no brothers, and his sister is never had no son. I don't know how he called himself, but I always heard that about Stutterbox. Stutterbox is very respected, or was very respected out here in LA.
So that's what the article says, and that's what Reggie Wright is saying, but the police is saying something different. The article says, and Reggie Wright says, that Shaq was friends with the person his wife was sleeping with. Reggie Wright is saying that Shaq was friends with him because he was a member of the Crips, and Shaq was a friend and up under this whole act. So Shaq was friends with the person his wife was sleeping with. The police don't say that Shaq knew him and had a friendship with him, because the police put a degree of separation between Shaq and the Main Street Crips. Because if they say Shaq was friends with the guy that he sleeping with his wife and claiming to extort him, then that means Shaq was friends with a Main Street Crip and he possibly knew Del Dog. But the police don't say it that way.
Very. At one time, he used to run my boy Shaq. His name was in the circle. He was very well respected. Main Street Mafia Crips was a very respected neighborhood in LA. Shaq got it up under him somehow.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $160,000.
My bad, y'all.
But what Stutterbox messed up at is because when you get close to people, you start thinking you probably want more money or own more, deserve more money than what a person is giving you for whatever reasons. That's just how human nature is. That's just what happens. That's what Suga had a lot of his problems with, where guys, as y'all see Mob James tell y'all in every interview, felt like they were cheated on, wasn't done right. Which in my thing, they was given a fucking opportunity and a job. Make the best of it as you can. Do what you can with it. You know, you're in a position where you can get to the man, use that position. Perfect person. Y'all gonna hate that I said it. Wack 100. He didn't get up a job with Suga or anything like that, but he got up under him, had his ear, learned the game. That nigga still feeding his family. Off of just that. That nigga was he'll tell y'all, a truck driver. Driving trucks prior to that. The first time he got in the game was from being around me, and then later on being around Suga. He tell y'all in the interview y'all listen to.
He's a police officer. This guy right here, a police officer. So he's saying to you the first time Wack 100 got into the game was being around him. Y'all know the history of Reggie Wright, police officer ass, and then being around Suga. Hella shit, bombs being dropped tonight, y'all.
So I say that to say, Stutterbox, for some reason, felt he was owed more by Shaquille O'Neal. He took, as I remember, the number was either $300,000 or $400,000. Forget what it was. But he allegedly had a picture. No, not a picture. A tape, video tape. Thanks to him. And nigga, I'm gonna expose your wife if you don't pay me X amount of dollars.
The motive for the crime was retaliation by a celebrity who believed Ross was having an affair with his wife. Captain David Smith of the Sheriff Homicide Bureau wrote, according to a copy of a letter obtained by the Times, the celebrity enlisted the help of 7 Main Street Crip gangster members with extensive criminal histories to commit the kidnap, robbery, and assault. Do y'all hear this? This is what actually happened, and this is what he told police. That Shaquille O'Neal called somebody, and they did this, and the police have this on record, and they condoned it. This is not being made up. This is not conjecture. That they got a letter that the celebrity enlisted the help of 7 Main Street gangster Crips. The celebrity in question is Shaquille O'Neal. Ross is Stuttered, who was sleeping with Shaunie O'Neal.
So Shaq is like devastated, like this. So now he goes and talk to other guys that's involved in Main Street. And they like, what? That's why he kind of dissed the person talking about you ain't up putting no diapers on my child and all that. He's talking about this big time dude that's no longer with us that had a lot of respect and control over there in Main Street. Because they are the mafia town where, I mean, they have like a hierarchy. Where most LA gangs, those little youngsters don't get well. They'd be like, what, nigga? You say what? Nigga? Okay, whatever. Big OG. Take your broke ass. They don't give a crap. But Main Street Mafia, I mean, I done heard stories from replicas when they were doing all those, they were robbing arm trucks. They were big in the marijuana.
So Reggie Wright gives us a whole nother perspective. Think about this, where we started tonight. We started with Shaunie getting exposed by Wack 100. Who is also AKA known as Cash Jones, right? Ex-truck driver. I didn't know Wack 100 drove trucks. Did you know Wack 100 was an ex-truck driver? Cash Jones, and he was involved with an extortion attempt with Shaquille O'Neal. Now we gotta get Wack 100 perspective, but I believe this is an older Wack 100 before the Wack 100 that you know today. So now we heard a couple different perspectives. We heard from an article. We heard from the police, the investigating police officer. Now, did you hear what Reggie Wright said? That's the same task force from the Tupac case, from the Nipsey Hussle case, from all of hip hop cop cases. It's the same task force. Isn't that something? And they knew about Shaq's affiliation, so they know about all the celebrities and their interconnections to these inner city LA gangs and why and how these murders and treachery has played out in the LA streets. Let's listen to Wack or Cass Jones, my bad, his opinion of what happened.
Can you talk about the situation that you have that's ongoing with Stutterbox? I know Greg is working on getting us the either audio or the...
Yeah, I talked to Reggie today.
Yeah.
He said he'd been in talks with Greg. I guess Greg got some of the audio, I guess what Stutterbox was telling. Right. You know, it really not an ongoing thing because it's like, I'm kind of like a victim, but I'm not. I survived it. But it just lets me know the route of the streets. Everybody in the streets knew that situation. Everybody in the streets watched that man go to CCB court on 7, 8 of his homeboys and line them up and tell. I knew the inner workings of it because we was neighbors. So I knew when the car got shot up, I knew all that, what was going on. I just didn't know he had went to the police. I didn't know that I didn't know he was a working informant for the feds initially. And the feds, I believe, then referred him to LAPD, which was Greg Cadence. I was always a target. I didn't come to know about Greg Cadence till after my door was kicked in, my wife was handcuffed, and they took a bunch of my files down to the Wilshire building, the federal building, right? I guess the initial case, from what I understood, was the investigation of the murder of Biggie Smalls, which was being handled on the Fed side. And I think the feds kind of like joined forces.
Who else is giving you this type of information, man? I just told you that the case, he got picked up for Biggie Smalls. The police officer said he knows somebody that got something to do with the murder and Tupac and Biggie. That's how the task force got involved. So Wack 100 or Cass Jones has a lot of reason to have animosity against Shaunie O'Neal because, like he said, he didn't know shit about shit until they ran into his house and put a gun to his wife's head, all behind Shaunie O'Neal sleeping with this dog motherfucker and them trying to extort Shaquille O'Neal. And then Shaquille O'Neal calling a hit on him and he almost losing his life and him going to the feds and telling on everybody, telling on Shaq, telling on Suga, telling on Wack. He remind me of somebody like in the movie, I'm fuck these niggas, I'm telling on everybody, you know what I'm saying? If you think about this nigga telling on everybody, like I'm telling on everybody, I'm telling on Shaq, I'm fucking this bitch, I'm telling on Shaunie, I'm telling on Wack, I'm telling on Suga, I'm telling on Biggie. This nigga was telling on top of telling, man. Come on, man. This nigga was telling on top of telling. You know he was scared.
With Greg Cadence, LAPD special units, right? So I think a lot of federal funding and federal buildings and was being used, which I know to be true because it would be times the Stutterbox would call me. Like one time, he called me to meet him at Stevie's on Ventura Boulevard, soul food place, right? So I get in there, I don't know, you know, he got these 2 chicks with him, you know, but Stutterbox always got women with him. Right. He like, yeah, these 2 chicks, you know, she from New Orleans and she from whatever they hear, you know, they just want to holler at us, you know, they cool, some bad bitches, you know, and I'm looking at Box like, all right, you know, we order food, Box gets up, goes to the bathroom. When he goes to the bathroom, the one chick says from New Orleans says, yeah, we was here to buy 5 keys, but our connection, he went dark. You know, Box tells us that, you know, you deal with Suga. So I'm like, what the hell was Suga got to do with 5 keys, right? What the fuck do I got to do with 5 keys? But at the time, I'm not understanding what's going on. I said, look, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah. So I make my way to the bathroom. Instead of going left, I go right to valet. I get out of there. 15 minutes later, Box like, where you go? Because he didn't came back. Where you go? Man, I'm on my way home. Oh, girl asking me something about 5 keys and Suga and all that. I don't know who you with, bro, but watch your back. I don't know what that's about. Yeah. Now, what's shocking is.
Now, look, now remember, the police officer in the previous interview said they investigated Cass Jones, but they didn't say to what extent. He didn't say we ran a sting on him to see if he was selling dope. They said they got word that he was selling dope for Suge Knight, so they investigated it. They did a raid, but he didn't say what means and measures they took to investigate it. What Wack is saying is that how they confirmed whether or not I was selling this. Ain't this some shit? Ain't this some shit?
Fast forward months later, I find a tracking device on my diesel. It's in the book. I let me find out what it was. I call my company. I'm thinking they put something on my diesel, trying to monitor my driving versus my logbook, right? And this my mechanic that still works down there today will verify this. I called him on the phone. Hey man, pissed off. Man, you put something on my, on my truck. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Call local police department. Whole time, Craig Cadence is listening to the wiretap. So I guess they was able to see where I was at, call ahead. So when I called, the police department gave me this mumbo jumbo. Oh yeah, they've been doing that to trucks in the area. Go ahead and take the box off, leave it there. We're gonna be on the way, this, that, and other. I don't know about it. I'm still in the dark. Right. So this when the light came on.
Are you ready for 2024? Listen, if you want to create a plan and you really want to take control when you can control, then you want to join me because I'm going to do a.
My bad, y'all. Donate.
They raid my home. They watch my wife take my kids to school, come back, they come in.
Fair use. Donate. Hit the cash.
They run it all through the house. They don't find it. They find a firearm that's registered to my wife. Right. Greg thinks his leverage is, well, Wack lives in the house. He's an ex-convict, right? He's supposed to be around firearms. Little did Greg know that I'm not a resident of the state of California anyway. So I own like 7, 8 houses at the time. Matter of fact, at that time, I had about 12. I was heavy in real estate. So they took a bunch of my files. I go down there where I think my attorney was Jeffrey Brody at the time. Tell Brody to meet us at the Wilshire District. We get up there. It's Officer Greg and his partner. But this what fucks me up. When we come off the elevator, I see a bunch of people in FBI flag jackets. Guess who one of the persons I see? The fucking female from New Orleans that asked about the 5 keys. So let's get deeper into what he's talking about. Right? And he was already working with the feds on whatever he been working on with dealing with everybody in LA County. From the understanding with my attorney and Greg, they didn't know Box. Box was sent to them by the feds. So the question everybody need to ask is, what was he already doing with the feds? He was already working with them. It's documented, right? So when I came off and I seen the chick, because she was real fine, like Creole style girl, right? I said, damn, that's the one. That's when the light came on, but it still hadn't registered. I still don't know at this time. I'm telling myself, oh shit, I wanted Box to know this motherfucker's the feds. I still ain't put it together. So when we sit down, my attorney go to threaten to file a harassment suit. I live in a gated community. You done kick this dude's door in, embarrassment, this, that, other, this, that, another, this, that. We still don't know what basis they had for that. It doesn't come out till we're pressing about this lawsuit until we get to the bottom. And they have a talk with my attorney like, look, man, we need them to drop that lawsuit. Things that happen between then. I've been pulled over leaving Encore Studio, Game Studio, right? Searched, cuffed up, ran through my car, didn't find nothing. I go to Burbank Police Department. I memorized the license plate number of the vehicle. So y'all made to file a complaint, harassment, this, that, another. Got my attorney on the phone, this, that, another. right? You can go pull this shit up. I'm pretty sure it's a case number of this, right? They're like, I give them the license plate to the vehicle. And said, don't make sense. That's definitely LAPD vehicles, not ours. They offer offers like off of San Fernando in the LA area. Go to this address. I get to the address. I'm in there like talking my shit to the whoever the watch commander is. And they like, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, I just left Burbank. This license plate is registered to your police department. They pulled me out, searched my vehicle without my consent. At this time, I'm oblivious to this shit. All this is box. Right? They trying to catch me dirty. Right? Guess what walks in the door? The two fucking officers. It's like 2 in the morning. I said, that's them right there. So even Greg says, he's like, yeah, you was a different type of animal because who memorizes a license plate number? Right? So I didn't know until Greg was like, look, man, you got this lawsuit on us. We don't know nothing the fuck about you. We don't want to know nothing the fuck about you. And I think Greg had made his mind up, because I don't know what it went in previously, that he had it with Stutterbox. So he tells me like, yo, this dude right here is the one put us on you, this, that, another. I'm in shock. Because I'd never had discussions with Stutterbox about my trucking business, what I did. He would always call and tell me, yeah, my homeboy Baldhead, some dude named Baldhead. My homeboy Baldhead drive trucks. But what, he don't make no money like that. He's still struggling to do this, that, and other. So I think in his head, he's like, how this dude living behind the gate with me? He got Mercedes Benzes, his kid is going to private school. Like, I think in his head, and like, okay, I know he do business with Suga. He put together his own little thing and says, because he's asking, where you going? Oh, down there by TJ. But it's a city called National City where the car carrier boats dock. Yep. So we load Bentley, Porsche, Toyota, Mazda, all that's loaded down there, right? And he's like, where you headed? Oh, man, I'm going northwest. It was a great run. Run played like 15, 16,000. Great run, right? So I think he put all this in his head that, because he knows some truck drivers, he would always reference some dude named Baldhead from his neighborhood. I don't know the dude. Yeah. Man, he don't make that kind of money. So I think in his head, he's like, this dude doing something. And he fed him. He didn't even snitch. He lied snitch. Yeah. That's a different kind of snitching. Because you fabricated some shit and then told it to the police and put them on me. You can use the main dude's name, Liddell Ross, Robert Ross, the people, which is the DA side, versus Liddell Ross. That could be a controlling document at CCB court. Pull that up and you'll have all the transcripts. Or go to Google and put Robert Ross in there and it'll pop up Channel 9 News, Channel 11 News, you know, what it was. This ain't no, you know, and it amazes me on how everybody act like they don't know. I guess it's the statute of limitations just to tell it. But you know, hey, they got to live with that. I'm not. My attorney, the only one came from that. You dropped the shit, we dropped the shit. I use it for that to help a certain individual out. I called my attorney, had the attorney put Greg Keynes and Mark Stevens together. They put that together to ask Box on stand. You go pull the paperwork. Have you ever been a confidential informant to work for the LAPD, the FBI as a known snitch? He lied on the oath and said no. Greg Keynes takes a stance, provides a document that this dude is in fact one of our informants, this, that. At that point, the judge looks at it. He perjured himself. Therefore, any allegations or any claims he's bringing on anybody is non and void. They dropped the charges on these 7 Crips and let them go. So in a sense, this Paul Roof freed the Crips. He would always reference some dude named Baldhead from his neighborhood. Tapes and stuff because he's very adamant about what he did or didn't do. Everybody in Los Angeles. The fact that he can sit there with Spotted Logan and whoever this other little dude is that don't know how to talk, I don't know this little dude. And they say, yeah, we know you told on the homies, but that's cool. He says nobody went to jail. Well, I'm confused. In CCB court, them 7 dudes got on the county jail bus and got transported to downtown and came out of the back in LA County jail jumpsuits. They fought that shit down there 9 months. What does he mean nobody went to jail? They was in jail for this case that you pointing the finger at them on.
So somebody did go to jail. Damn, this is true. So Shaq didn't get charged, but the 7 people that Shaq called, think about this. The people that Shaq called did go to jail. So the 7 Main Street Crips, think about how this story is slowly coming together. So far we learned about the police. The police said this, that the Shaq called Mark called the Crips beat up Stutterbox. But now we learn that Stutterbox was working with the police and the feds actually arrested the 7 Crips that kidnapped and beat them up per Shaq's order. I'm trying to find on the video, does he say that?
Oh, right? What you mean? The only reason why they beat prison is because they was able to line you up, make you perjure yourself on the stand, and claim you wasn't a fucking informant, and in walks Greg Cadence, which I orchestrated that with Mark Coots, got on the county jail bus and got transported to downtown. I don't know this little dude. And that's Derek Kane. But Reggie working on told me work.
So he don't really go into the Shaq shit. He said it's like a statute of limitations. So I guess he wants the shit to come out now because Perfect Timing did the research and I brought the shit out tonight. Perfect Timing did the research and I didn't brought the shit out tonight, man. That's a hell of a story, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That's a hell of a story, man. Where we gonna go? Where we gonna go next, man? We did let's go take a look. Where we gonna go next, man? That's a hell of a story. That's a hell of a story. Yo, so let's go to Trump DeSantis. And the Iowa caucus. So we've been, and we're going to do Dave Chappelle and Cat Williams all together at the same time. Because we've been really focused on Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams, and typically in this sector, we always say, you know, when something is so viral like this, we be like, there's a distraction. This is a distraction because all of us are paying attention to this. What are we being distracted from? There's something we being distracted from. We're paying attention to Cat Williams. What are we not paying attention to? My video with Fanny Willis blowing up, Angry Man doing Fanny Willis. You're going to see a lot of us doing a more conservative topics and political topics because it's an election year, right? So what are we not paying attention to while we pay attention to Cat Williams? Well, I do my research when I hear today that Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race. And I'm surprised. I'm like, damn, Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race. What do you mean Ron DeSantis dropped out of the race? And I thought about it. Man, we've been so focused on Cat Williams. We've been so distracted with Club Shay Shay. We haven't been paying attention. Even me, myself, I preach this stuff all the time. And I'm having a good time because I'm getting views, people watching me. So I'm excited about Cat Williams and all that stuff. And I'm going in, right? And I'm not paying attention to the writing on the wall. And Ron DeSantis and Vivek, just listen, let me, Ron DeSantis has dropped out. Ron DeSantis has dropped out and Vivek. And Trump won the Iowa caucus. And we talking about Cat Williams.
Stops, more interviews, I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory.
DeSantis also dropped his endorsement.
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear.
President Trump said he was honored to receive DeSantis' support.
Before we begin, I'd like to take time to congratulate Ron DeSantis and, of course, a really terrific person.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right. But not enough about the subject.
They give me the nicest topics.
I've gotten to know his wife, Casey, for having run a great campaign for president. He did. He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy. But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m. And in so doing, he was very gracious and he endorsed me. So I appreciate it. I appreciate that. And I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden.
Trump even vowed to drop his most famous nickname for the governor.
Okay. He just said, will I be using the name Ron DeSanctimonious? I said, that name is officially retired.
Well, tomorrow, New Hampshire Republican primary voters will take to the ballot box to cast their vote for either former President Trump or his one remaining challenger, Nikki Haley. A CNN poll taken last weekend finds Trump is in the lead with 50% of the vote. Haley trails 39% for her. So the exit of Ron DeSantis from the campaign, seeing a lot of reaction to that. Obviously, there is a perhaps not wrong perception that he ran a really bad campaign, that there was a lot of promise and hope vested in him that he squandered for a variety of reasons. For my part, I don't know that the campaign was so badly run. Rather, there was just really not a lot of chance for him once the prosecutions of Trump started coming in, focused the spotlight back onto Trump, and made so many of the very conservative Republican primary voters who DeSantis was hoping to inherit from Trump become more militant and more strident about sticking with Trump because of the...
You hear that? The prosecutions have made Trump basically the next president. The prosecutions that we've been talking about has solidified people in their mind that he needs their vote.
Perception that he's being persecuted, and that made it very difficult for DeSantis, although there's obviously a lot more you can say.
I don't know. I find this to be a little bit confusing. If the argument is that I'm the backup Trump, then the need for a backup Trump still exists, given the reality of Trump's legal woes. And although I understand that there are ultimately some money problems that Ron DeSantis was encountering, his money problems have nowhere near the gravity of some of these smaller candidates who have managed to stay in with very little outside contribution and much less personal wealth than someone like Ron DeSantis. I'm thinking, for example, of someone like Marianne Williamson or even like a Cenk Uygur. So it is confusing to me why there's still not the same incentive to at least, you could staff down, you could weather the storm of a bunch of newspapers writing that you have basically a phantom campaign, but at least you're still in the running, and there's a different kind of humiliation that comes with dropping out so early.
He made a deal. What's Trump's name? It's Trump deal, right? It's the art of the deal. DeSantis made a deal. It was obvious he was not going to beat Trump. Why wait? That's the deal Trump gave him. Trump gave him a deal. You better take the deal now because the deal gets worse later. And we all know that to be true. We know that. We know Trump's negotiation style. It may not even been Trump who gave him the deal. It may have been his wife. This is the deal. You want to be vice president? Do you want to be vice president? Think about the ticket. Trump DeSantis. That's a hell of a ticket, y'all. That's a hell of a ticket. At a certain point, you guys have to understand politics. At a certain point, individuals are no longer campaigning for the presidency. They're campaigning for the vice presidency. That's what happened with Kamala Harris. That's what happened with Joe Biden the first time with Obama. When it was evident that Obama was going to be the pick, everybody saw it. Joe Biden started cozying up to Obama, even though Joe Biden had all of that bullshit in his past. He started cozying up to Obama and rallying support behind Obama's back so that he could win. But you need to bring me with you as vice president. So DeSantis cut a deal. It's the art of the deal. I'm not going to beat him. I don't want to piss him off. I want a position. And if I could position myself as vice president, then maybe I get in there between him and then Donald Trump's son. Because Donald Trump's son or his daughter is going to run for president. So Ron DeSantis is trying to position himself for the next 10, 20 years and where he put himself in politics and his family. Vice president sound pretty fucking good to me. And that's a hell of a ticket. When she says, why would Ron DeSantis drop out so early? What's in it for him is what she's saying. He made a deal. That's my opinion. Ron DeSantis made a deal. And I bet you he made a hell of a deal. I don't know if it's going to be Trump DeSantis. Sound good to me, though. I mean, Trump was already hard to beat, right? Trump Biden, you know what I'm saying? They already got Trump winning. But Trump DeSantis, Trump, because DeSantis already got so many people with him. You know what I'm saying? He got the youth, the family. Trump DeSantis on a ticket, on a tour, on a campaign trail. DeSantis, Florida, how many electoral votes? DeSantis makes a hell of a deal himself. DeSantis brings a lot of ass to the table. Shout out Mama Shirley. Rest in peace. You gotta say, Mama Shirley, you gotta bring ass to get ass, right? You gotta bring some ass to get some ass. DeSantis brings a lot to the table. Outside of California, New York, Florida, that's why Florida was involved with the Bush-Gore, because it has so many electoral votes. So DeSantis brings a lot. He brings a lot to the table. Trump DeSantis is a hell of a ticket. Let's go back.
In this contest, when you announced, it was almost presumed that he was going to beat Donald Trump. Do you remember us sitting here, everyone saying Trump's campaign announcement was low energy? Ron DeSantis was the one that was, now we know, peaking in the polls. That was as high as it ever got for him. And so it does confuse me a little why he would drop out at this stage, unless there is an attempt to eat into any momentum that Nikki Haley can get out of New Hampshire and have Trump benefit from the fact that these DeSantis voters and Trump voters largely overlap, and that Trump is likely to get the benefit of Ron DeSantis no longer competing in that race.
Well, if you think about it from DeSantis' perspective, obviously he wanted to be the nominee. If he's conceding he's not going to be the nominee, he'd rather the nominee be Trump than Haley, because
Sure.
if Haley is the nominee and Haley wins, Haley could be president for 8 years, and that pushes DeSantis' aspirations further down the line.
Sure, but that kind of presupposes that Nikki Haley has a real legitimate chance of beating Donald Trump, as opposed to, again, if they're both competing for what if Donald Trump drops out and he's not in the race at all, then what does Nikki Haley really have to do with it?
No, he wants, it's just like you said, he can get out now, shore up Trump's support, make sure Trump defeats Haley for the nominee, Trump will be the candidate.
But Trump not winning is not about Trump not being able to beat Haley in the primary. It would be about Trump being precluded from running because of some legal issue, right? So again, I don't understand the logic behind this.
I mean, there's not enough. He probably perceives there isn't any momentum on his side. Yes, he could wait it out. Yes, he could take the chance that somehow Trump is going to be knocked out by the legal situation, the constitutional situation, and then also overcome Haley, something that is seeming, I think, increasingly unlikely, as she's gonna have this.
So this is why we're being distracted. They're trying to distract you with all of this celebrity gossip and slowly kick out Donald Trump from the race. But Donald Trump just won the Iowa caucus. Vivek dropped out. Only person left is Nikki Haley, and Ron DeSantis just dropped out. But what you hear is a conversation about people earnestly giving validity to the lawsuits in Manhattan and Atlanta. But one of my videos doing the best right now, thank you to everybody, go watch the video on my channel with Fanny Willis, where I am the first one again to expose Fanny Willis sleeping with the person she hired as the A1 prosecutor in the Rico case against Donald Trump. Not only that, but breaking some individuals were talking tonight about what was wrong with what Fanny Willis did. Well, there's a code of ethics for doctors, for lawyers. There's something called a code of ethics, a code of conduct. And for a doctor and a lawyer, You can't be unethical, right? Because the people have to see you as fair and just. To be a doctor, to practice medicine, to practice law. So there's a code of ethics. So Fanny slept with a married man. You can't sleep with a married man being the district attorney, right? Because it's unethical. It's the same thing with Bill Clinton getting being adulterer in the White House with Monica Lewinsky. They wanted to impeach him because it questioned his ethics. It's unethical. He can't be president because he's not an ethical person, right? She can't be a district attorney. She can't prosecute Donald Trump. And now she has to go in front of a court. Fanny is being subpoenaed in a divorce case by the ex-wife because she slept with a married man. She's in the pulpit in the church asking for forgiveness. But they are saying there's validity to the lawsuit against Donald Trump in Atlanta. And they're saying that Donald Trump may be precluded from running for president because of the Rico case in Atlanta, which we know is a farce. It's a political witch hunt. It's not only the fact that Fanny is sleeping with the guy that she hired, but I showed you a video where in front of a court, a judge questioned the fact that Fanny threw a fundraiser via Facebook for Joe Biden, and now you're investigating and prosecuting his running mate, the person he's running against. He said that's not ethical. She keeps doing unethical things. She represented the co-founder of YSL. Then she's going to prosecute YSL. She may have dated that guy too. Unethical, unethical, unethical. The judge said, you know, I'm not saying that what she did is against the law, but if I'm at a dinner party, I would say, what the hell are you thinking? Why are you doing these things? This is not what a district attorney is supposed to do. But here it is. In Manhattan, a district attorney prosecuted Jonathan Majors for a violation, not even a crime. Well, I keep educating my audience because a lot of people think Jonathan Majors was charged with the crime. He was charged with the violation, punishable up to 15 days. He wasn't convicted of a crime. He was convicted of a violation. It doesn't arise to the level of a crime. The reason why Jonathan Majors wasn't convicted of a crime is because there was a witness from the beginning. Jonathan Majors called the police. He's the first witness. The other witness, the only other unbiased witness, was the driver. And the driver testified that Jonathan Majors was not the aggressor. He didn't hit anybody. He didn't commit a crime. So you would say to yourself, why did this Manhattan DA prosecute? Same thing why he's prosecuting Donald Trump. That's why I don't know Jonathan Majors. I'm not a Jonathan Majors fan. I don't care who Jonathan Majors sleeps with. I wanted you to look at the prosecution style of the Manhattan district attorney. My point of doing the Jonathan Majors case is so that we could be educated on the prosecution style of the Manhattan district attorney. The reason why we look at YSL or the Atlanta Public Schools, Rico, both of these are Rico cases. The Atlanta Public Schools, the YSL, and you can see what a fucking piece of shit debacle it is. They're both Rico cases, so we can look at Fanny's prosecution style. We can't be those of us who have intricately looked at her prosecution style on YSL and all of the mistakes, she can't even be in the courtroom. Think about this, you guys. How surprising is it? I'm not surprised. She can't even be in the courtroom in YSL because she represented the co-founder. She does this again and again and again. She's a fuck up. She's a habitual line stepper. Fanny Willis is she habitually fuck up. That's what she do. She fuck up. Atlanta Public School is the most expensive case ever in the history of Georgia. And nobody ever talks about why is Fanny Willis not in the courtroom in YSL? Because she fucked up the same way she fucked up with the Rico with Trump. She's a fuck up. Y'all didn't think about that? She can't be in the courtroom because she represented the co-founder. Now she did it again. Shit the bed. It's like Amber Heard. Shit the bed. She shits in the bed. Get this. She sleeps with the married man, right? She hires the married man she's sleeping with. On the day she hires the married man, she gives him $600,000. He files for divorce. Then they go on lavish vacations. The divorce is not final. Right now, what is putting Fanny Willis in jeopardy is the fact that the divorce is not final. She is being subpoenaed into court for divorce proceeding. She's not being subpoenaed into court for Trump, for YSL. Fanny Willis, district attorney, Rico champion, Rico tycoon, is being subpoenaed into court for a divorce case. And that may blow up the Donald Trump Rico. What do you think is coming for the Manhattan DA? What do you think they got in store for the Manhattan DA? Trump is from New York. You think he ain't got nothing on the Manhattan DA? What do you think is coming for the Manhattan DA? He's a type of person who said, believe all women. He's not following the letter of the law. He's setting himself up. It's the same thing like with the Harvard president, like Fanny. They make themselves easy slaughter. He has said, we're going to believe all women and basically throw up a coin with justice. And you don't do that as a district attorney. He said, I am willing to put things in front of a jury that we normally wouldn't put in front of a jury and let a jury decide. We're willing to flip the coin. With black men's lives, this is a black man in Manhattan, the same person prosecuted. But see, we don't care that he does this with black men's lives. We care when he does it to Trump. I'm saying we should care always about our elected officials and their prosecution styles, because just like a snake, one day it might turn and bite you. We can't say it's okay because the person that the snake is biting, we don't care about. Because one day the snake can bite you. The snake doesn't care. See, we thought the snake would be loyal. Oh, the snake is only going to bite those people we don't like. No, it's a snake. And now it's going to tell you who you can and who you can't have for your president. You may not like Donald Trump, but you may not want these individuals to steal the opportunity for you to say no. I'm an American. I may not like Donald Trump, but you don't get to steal from me my opportunity to say no. I get to say no. You don't get to take that from me. And we are sitting on our hands. We just sitting back. We okay with people taking our rights and our choices. Did you hear what I said? I said, as a strong, proud American, even if I don't like Trump, you can't take away my ability to have a choice. That's not up to you. I still get to vote no. I get to vote yay or nay. You don't get to take away my choice. That's what they did. That's why Elon Musk bought Twitter. That's what he exposed. That's what they got in trouble for when Hillary Clinton was running, that Google was putting illegally falsifying search engine results, that Twitter was doing the same thing, pushing Hillary above, pushing them up. Everybody forgets about the algorithm. I told you about lead attorney. When lead attorney, shout out to lead attorney, told you about the fact of being a black content creator, and people might say, well, lead attorney's full of shit. Not if you remember how they got in trouble. Not if you understand what Elon Musk exposed about Twitter. But do you remember how Google got in trouble during that great campaign? And we found out that they lied. Huh? They pushed Trump down and they pushed Hillary up in the search engine. They did. Facebook did the same thing. That's why Elon Musk bought Twitter. They had a direct pipeline from the White House into all of these social media platforms, and they were using them to spy on you, black identity extremists. They were using them to spy on you, white identified white man. They were using them to spy on you. Huh? And now they're going to tell you who you can vote for. They're going to tell you that you can't vote for Trump. We're going to take him out from the Constitution. But while we do it, y'all niggas go laugh at Cat Williams.
potentially do well, and he was going to do better in New Hampshire than he was going to do. I don't know. I think there's an idea that the wheels were falling off, that he didn't have a lot of some of his supporters, some of his donors had switched from his camp to Haley's camp. I don't know.
One thing informing my views here are remembering that Joe Biden came in fifth in New Hampshire back in 2020. The idea of doing poorly in one of these early contests really doesn't mean much of anything at all. I do wonder, however, if this has something to do with shoring up his relationship with Donald Trump, whose endorsement he might need for a subsequent round at this. Ron DeSantis is a young guy. He's really dealt with the problem of being from Donald Trump's state, two Florida men competing for the same audience. I've seen so many interviews of people in Florida being asked what they feel about these two candidates and saying, oh, I just wish they could work together. I like both of them. He was a good governor, even if I don't want to vote for him as president. And I do wonder if dropping out at this stage earns him some goodwill. Trump retiring Ron DeSanctimonious,
right.
Meatball
Well,
Ron,
all but the
and so that they have more. He's a unity candidate, and they're able to actually have a good effort going forward in 4 years from now.
Except for the most toxically online pro DeSantis and pro Trump people who really do hate each other. There's some love lost there. Slightly reminiscent of like Bernie bros versus Hillary people kind of levels of dislike. That's a small corner. But for the most part, I think this feud is going to be forgotten. I mean, you saw Trump there. The feud is over for him. He doesn't care now. Trump follows a very basic, attack strategy. Like if you're running against him, if you're speaking against him, you're against him. He's going to attack you. The second that's over, it's over. If DeSantis is,
but it's over because he dropped out. That's my point.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. It's not going to. So DeSantis will be welcomed back into the Trump fold and can be on good terms with all the Trump people. And now we're going to go back to remembering what a great COVID governor he is and how he fights woke the way conservatives want. And he will still have a
It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to.
Yeah. Well, we have much more rising coming up. Stick around. Stay tuned.
So that's that story, man. Perfect Timing Podcast with the blast on their ass. What a story, man. We've been having a good time with Cat Williams. I mean, I've been doing good with the reviews. And Trump has won the Iowa caucus and they're trying to downplay it. Vivek was a hell of a candidate. He didn't drop out. Ron DeSantis was the new Trump. Did you hear the way she said he was polling ahead? Biden was lower than he was at this time. Why would he drop out? Because I love politics, right? And I hadn't even thought about this because I've been looking at DeSantis also as looking so good, right? I never thought about, and it was right there in all of our face. I mean, because they were going at it, they made it look so good. Think about it. They made it look so good. They were going at each other so hard, bro. Pause. They were going at each other so hard, right, that one would think that they could never work together. It was almost like Obama and Biden and Harris. Harris was cutting Biden's throat. If you remember, and on the debate, the Biden that we know now that we're all making fun of, he's slow and this and that. It was the same thing during the debate. You can't fake it. And Harris, Kamala was going at his jugular on his record with racism, the resolute deaths, the crime bill, the saying the N-word, the little she was going at, she didn't save nothing. That's how she got to be vice president. You would think by the way Kamala Harris attacked Joe Biden on that stage that they could never work together. She was the most vicious one, and she had the DEI on her side, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So it was not much Biden could say to her, but she could say everything to him about being the evil white man. You racist, you this, you that. And a lot of times Joe Biden just had to be quiet. and Kamala Harris would rip his throat apart. And then Kamala Harris became the VP. The way DeSantis and Trump went at each other, I just didn't see them ever working together. But in light of this news, I feel almost duped because it's a hell of a ticket. Trump DeSantis is a hell of a ticket. How could I not see that? How could we not see that? They did a hell of a job. DeSantis, congratulations, bro. I mean, you did a great campaign. Even Trump said he ran a great campaign because he did run a great campaign. He ran a campaign so good, just like Kamala Harris, that you thought that Trump was going to have a hard time on his hands. We all were saying, DeSantis, you might need to chill because you so good, you're going to mess up everything. DeSantis already knew what he was doing, y'all. He ran the hell out of that campaign. Everybody knows he got name recognition, global name recognition. He traveled globally. Everybody knows DeSantis in every single state of America. Florida has one of the most electoral votes. Good job, DeSantis. He's a hell of a pick for vice president. Who else could you pick? Who else brings as many electoral votes? Who else brings as many eyes to the ticket as DeSantis and the Republican Party? It's not Vivek. Vivek's not a governor. Vivek doing a good thing out there, making a lot of noise, doing a lot of good interviews, saying a lot of intelligent things, challenging the system. But Vivek doesn't hold office. And what he needs to do is go run for office. And he has a problem with him running for office, and that's the Asian hate crime bill. So what's going to be the problem with anybody Asian running for president is the Asian hate crime bill and the political damage that it did. And they don't realize what it means to have a Southern strategy and the black vote. It's funny that these people who are new to America, Mama Shirley would say, you blew here, we grew here. And they don't understand American politics. Why there is an Al Sharpton, why there is a Jesse Jackson. Because it's ultimately important to court the black vote because they control culture in America. They will sway an election. What do you think's been happening in America all this time, Vivek? Ron DeSantis. See, Trump understands about the black vote. People think on that side that they could win without the black vote. It's never been done. It's never been done. It's not the numbers. It's the effect on culture. It's the fact that I'm loving it. The McDonald's slogan is black culture. Coca-Cola, the commercial for Coke, is black culture. So you have to court the black vote for everything in America to move for you. For the Pepsi to move for you, for McDonald's to move for, because you can't have any of these things against you. You got to have all the brands with you. You got to think about Obama. Obama's colors was the synonymous with Pepsi. When Obama was picked, this boy was hella marketable. You could see Obama with a Pepsi in his hand. Everybody got behind him. You know, when Trump is picked, you see Budweiser and the flag. You see, you know what I'm saying? This is the real life thing that's happening here. So while we entertained by Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, Trump wins the Iowa caucus. Now, all my life, looking at the presidential year, it's war, it's blood on the streets. We got war in the Ukraine, war in Israel. Soon as Trump wins, he said it never would have happened. It's a very stirring speech. There's so much pushback that Trump gets, but he was so somber in his words. He didn't speak about himself. Everybody think Trump is so grandiose. He didn't say one thing about himself. He said it never would have happened. He said, we lost way more life than you know. He said, I know Putin. He wasn't shy. He said, I know Putin. We friends. I know Zelensky. Soon as I'm elected, I'm getting them both in the room. First day, it's over. It's over. This what he said. He ain't talking about him. He ain't giving himself a pat on the back. He said it never should have happened. He almost in tears. He feel responsible. He feel responsible. That's a president, y'all. He feel responsible. How you gonna beat that? It never should have happened. It never should have happened. Everybody that died, it never should have happened. The first day, Israel never should have happened. It's over. That's what he said. What you gonna say to beat that? If anybody voting, anybody got a heart, anybody got any type of feeling, anybody got any type of feeling for anything that's happened October 6th, anything that's happened, that's what you want to hear. Somebody take responsibility. We've been waiting for Biden. We've been waiting for Biden to say something like that. Just be a leader one time. During his victory, he take responsibility. He could be doing a victory lap. He said it never should have happened. Taking responsibility, I'm going to fix it. So I know we're going to keep talking about Cat Williams, but there's things that they distracting us from. So why this man who telling you that he going to stop all the bad things that are happening, they are trying to stop him from running for president. We live in a sick world, bro. The person that's saying, taking responsibility, saying, it's my fault for this violence, I'm going to stop the violence. We got people working to get him not to win, to not be able to run. And they going to tell you, the closer we get, especially if you got brown skin, if you're a person of color, that you a traitor, that you an enemy, that you voting against your own principles, that some scary boogeyman in a white hoodie gonna come and get you if you vote for Trump. They gonna try to scare you like they scared you before. If you don't take this, you're gonna get sick. They're gonna try to scare you. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. If you don't vote for him, someone's gonna get you. Some boogeyman's gonna get you. Oh, the boogeyman is coming in 2024. Y'all didn't know the boogeyman was coming? You didn't know the boogeyman was coming? The closer we get, the more it's gonna be your fault. The more they're gonna scare you about your future, about what you're not gonna own, what you're not gonna have. And the only alternative you got is to vote for the Democratic Party. And if you don't vote for a Democratic Party, you're voting for your own death. Terrifying the elderly, terrifying the young, people without the time and the patience that we got here. They like, man, I don't want to die. I don't want to give Trump the keys if he's so evil and mean. And think about everything they saying. They turn him into the devil. What's happening right now, though? It's not even funny, but think about how could they scare you about a Trump presidency when there were no wars when Trump was president, man? There was not multiple wars and famine and inflation, fentanyl crisis, border, 10,000 across the border, joblessness, everybody broke. What else is there to be afraid of, people? Just the thing that's such a distraction. This is why the distraction exists. What else do you have to lose? What else can a Democrat say to you that could happen under Trump? We're going to go to war. We got 2 wars. We're going to be attacked. It's been 2 major attacks. It's going to be inflation. We got inflation. We got high gas. We got every problem that we could possibly have. The rent has skyrocketed. The food, I just seen an article the other day. The rent up 32%. The food up 19%. The wages are not up double digits. The wages are not up double digits. So what else can the Democrats scare you with? Because that's what they're gonna start doing, terrifying you that if you vote for Trump, things are gonna get bad. Y'all don't know what's coming. Y'all don't know what's y'all master go get you. Y'all best get your master go get you. Y'all best get you. What master go do to us there, Tom? Because we already in multiple wars. I can't afford food. My wife left me. I'm living under a freeway. I'm sick to hear the Sunday. So Tom, tell me, Tom, how much worse can I take, Tom? I can't say. I ain't saying, Tom, that it ain't gonna get worse. I'm just saying, Tom, what else could happen to me, Tom? What more could befall me, Tom? So you telling me, Tom, and if I vote for Joe Biden, if I don't vote for Joe, my spot under the freeway could be gone for good. If I don't vote for Joe Biden, my little piece of cardboard could be gone. That's what you telling me, Tom? Well, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You should be thankful for that piece of cardboard, boy, up under that freeway. Do you know what's people? Do you know what, Tom? Actually, Tom, people in Africa is living better than us right now, Tom. You can't say that no more, Tom, because people in Africa is living better than us right now, Tom. And you telling me, Tom, that a vote for Biden. Oh, shit. Think about it, man. Oh, man, come on, man. Thank God for the Electoral College, because what if you really needed the votes from all of the homeless people? All the thousands of 40, 50,000 homeless people, like the last election, with the whole thing that these things about was about 1,000 votes. Bush versus Gore was about 1,000 votes, but you got 50,000 homeless in California and growing. You got 50,000 homeless over here. So what about that? Thank God for the Electoral College. Thank God for the Electoral College, and we don't need those people to vote. And we don't need those homeless people to vote. We need them to do the census, though. We need the homeless people to do the census so we can do the right allocation of the money and the tax and per zip code how much money I need allocated to me and spending. But I don't need them to vote. We don't go around homeless camps and put voting booths. We don't go to the homeless camp. We bring homeless food. We bring homeless drugs. But we don't go to the homeless camp. We do homeless census. We count the homeless. That's a government thing. But when it's time to vote for the president, we got Electoral College. There's no need, Perfect, to go around and spend the time and money. 50,000 though. We've never been in this position before as a country that we've had that many homeless, so it's never been an issue. To anybody, it'll be like, well, you know what? Are we really getting an adequate reflection when we have so many people disenfranchised? And we're okay with that as a country when we got so many homeless in California? So many, are we getting a true reflection? California has so many electoral votes. We have so many homeless. This last 2 years, California had an exodus. Illinois had an exodus. Have all of those people, in Utah, they said like an influx of a couple 100,000. So we're talking about 300,000 or 400,000. It's another great migration. We're talking about 300,000 or 400,000 people leaving California, Illinois. Have they registered in the new states that they're in? Will they be able to vote for the president as citizens of Texas? Everybody moved to Texas. So has everybody registered to vote? I know you got to go get your driver's license. A lot of people just keep their same driver's license for a long time. A lot of people still got their California phone numbers. A lot of people still got their Chicago phone numbers. Did you register to vote in Texas? Have you been registered in Texas long enough? Did you affiliate your proper political party? Because if you don't register to vote with the proper political party, you won't get a ballot to vote for the president. Are these people going to get their ballots? A great exodus has happened in the past 2 years. It hasn't come up yet. Does anybody? So we talked about 50,000 homeless. A couple 100,000 people have moved, and I just accidentally said migrants. We just had 10,000 migrants cross the border. 10,000 last week. Are they going to vote? Who they voting for? Who they voting for? Because they can get driver's license, they can get jobs. Who they voting for? Is they voting for Biden? Is that why Biden is letting the 10,000 people across the border? Is we going to get hoodwinked and bamboozled? Is we going to be at home saying, I know Trump won, but all of a sudden they're going to say, Biden wins, Biden wins, Biden, Biden wins, Biden wins. 10,000 immigrants every week until November. Biden wins. Biden wins. Come on in. Open border. Well, who said open border? Joe Biden. Oh, I want to vote for Joe Biden. Or maybe they come over here and their cousins is already here. And their cousin got a right to vote. Cousin, you got to go vote for Joe Biden. Why I got to vote for Joe Biden? Because Joe Biden said open borders, and Nana is coming next week. Joe Biden said open borders, and Pawpaw is coming next week. So we can't vote for Trump. Why y'all think they letting all these people in? Who these people gonna vote for? Who let them in? Who's that looking in my window? Pal. Nobody know. And by the time we figure out what happened and the play been already put down, you done been hoodwinked. You done been bamboozled. 10,000 immigrants that came in and voted Biden back in the office. And you scratching your head and you said to yourself, well, wait a minute. I saw the polls. I saw the numbers. Trump was ahead. Where did all these votes come from? Because the people under the freeway can't vote. The people who immigrate to Texas can't vote. So who gonna vote? Well, we don't gotta worry about it because we got the Electoral College. We got the Electoral College. I mean, think about these things, man. We ain't talked about none of this stuff. And it's a big year. This vote is so important that they have 2 cases against Donald Trump. One of them is a Rico. From Rico Fanny. She should go down in history like a Western, like a WWE character. Because she should have been checked a long time ago. It's a shame that it had to be like this, because I would think that she would be checked on the fact of how much money she's cost the taxpayer versus what the taxpayer received. The billions of dollars that was spent on Atlanta public schools, what did the Atlanta students and the public receive for that money spent? All of the billions that's going to be spent on YSL. What safety has increased for the public when you gave everybody 15 years probation? You got to ask yourself about how and why she's been allowed to proliferate her style of law in the way that she's been allowed to without a proven record. It's the same thing that happened with the Harvard president. If you unpack who Fanny is and what she's done, you will not be surprised by any of this. If you go back to the Atlanta Public Schools case, if you go back to what happened when she left the DA's office, when she came back to the DA's office, how she's acted in her personal life, how she got in trouble by supporting on a Facebook flyer boldly Biden at a party, she's done it time and time again. Somehow these individuals want to tell you that they're better suited to run the country than Donald Trump. It's preposterous. I'm so utterly confused. We should follow Fanny Willis. We should follow the DA of Manhattan who prosecutes a young man for running away. These are the individuals who are ethical, who are sound, who should be leading the country. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe, that these cases against Donald Trump are valid and that you should take everything that we say, that we are doing the right thing for the public's benefit. When this is your track record, when this is who you are and what you've done, it's like a spit in the face to the public and the electorate. It's like they don't respect us. What a great show. What a great show. Late night show, Perfect Time Podcast with the blast on their ass. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We focus a lot. As I already did the Dave Chappelle, Cat Williams. Dave Chappelle was wrong. It's more of a distraction. Dave Chappelle was upset with Cat Williams because the interview dropped when his special dropped. But Cat Williams didn't drop the special. Cat Williams didn't drop the interview. Shannon Sharp dropped the interview on that day, Dave. Cat Williams didn't want to do the interview. Cat Williams did the interview in 2023. It hit different in 2024, an election year. So Shannon dropped the video in 2024. It hit different in 2024. It's an election year. Everything gonna hit different this year because it's an election year. Now, nobody gonna be honest about why it hit different, but it hit different this year. Trump just won the Iowa caucus. Santis out, Vivek out. It hit different this year. Shannon Sharp did the right thing, but for Dave Chappelle to get on his high horse and talk shit, no one has criticized Shannon Sharp. Why everybody mad at Cat Williams for simply doing an interview? Cat Williams did a favor. Shannon Sharp begged him to do the interview. Cat Williams didn't want to do the interview. Cat Williams didn't tell them people to say negative things about him. So we've been distracted with a bunch of light-skinned sensitive cats have had us distracted while one of the most important elections, because I told you, you will own nothing and you will like it. The agenda 2025, 2030, 2045, these are big dates. These are big years. And they unrolling this shit right in front of you with Ubisoft, with digital real estate, with AI. This shit is unrolling right in front of you. It's a big election. What's going to happen with AI? Because the person who's elected in 2024 will be the president in 2028. And they said that America won't be a superpower by 2030. If this guy wins, then you can guarantee America, and I know people are going to say, Perfect, you can't stop the downfall of America like most Def said. But if this guy wins again, I can't imagine what the fuck would happen by 2028. I would be terrified. What conflict, what inflation? People can't last another 4 years of this shit. Think about it, y'all. We don't even talk about the reality. They said that America wouldn't be a superpower by 2030. How do we get there? Yeah, if old boy win again. And these liberals who don't give a fuck about where we are in the world get you to focus for another 4 years on they funky ass. These liberals, while the world is changing. I mean, literally like changing, not like figuratively, like changing with AI, with demographics. If these folks win again, then with Disney and with all of their distractions, they'll get you to focus on their funky ass. You won't focus on the world and you won't prepare for what's coming after 2030. Disney will keep you and an illusion. Disney will keep you angry. Disney and the liberal will keep you focused on your son going through a sex change. And if that's a father, I can understand why that father is focused on nothing else. And that's what it's all about. Disney will keep pumping this shit out to keep the American public distracted. And there's global shifts. It's global shifts that have to do with, remember Obama said this time was coming? He said, your kids need to be trained in technical fields because there ain't gonna be no jobs. Everybody's like, what the fuck Obama talking about? That was so long ago, 2008. Think about it. Obama said it ain't gonna be no jobs. Now it ain't no jobs. I said to you that we're gonna be in a UBI. And we're gonna be in the Oasis or the metaverse. What's a UBI? Universal Basic Income. Because our kids never had like summer jobs, jobs at 16, no cars. Our kids are the 16-year-olds and 19-year-olds. When you hear UBI, you say no because you would never do a UBI. Ken, you would never do a UBI. But a 19-year-old would do a UBI. And I could play my video game all day. And my girlfriend and my friends are on the virtual, just like the Oasis. Just like the Oasis. Because when they said you will own nothing and you will be happy, they wasn't talking to me and Ken. They were talking to the 19-year-old. The 19-year-old, you will be able to play Grand Theft Auto all day long. You will own nothing and you will be happy. You will have access to Grand Theft Auto like they tell you right now. When you log on to social media, you make the company money. So it's like a job. So it's not really a UBI. They'll preach it as a UBI, but you're actually working when you're playing your video game. But they'll tell you that's what you get to do. That's what you want to do. We've created a mouse. We turned you into a rat that all you want to do is drink energy drinks, eat your hot chips, play your video game, and we're going to let you do that. We're going to give you all of that. We're going to give you the sugar, which is the cocaine. We're going to give you the dopamines, which is the video game. And the video game is really a job. Just like, what's the mind blocks? What's the video game the kids play that's really not a game? So the video game is going to be, or what's the movie with Bender, with Harrison Ford, where the kids think they're playing a game, but they really going to war. That's what the shit going to be. You're going to be playing a game. They're going to figure out how to get you to play a game and make them money. Roblox. They're going to figure out how to get you to play a game and make them money. You're going to be 19. You're going to think it's the best game since sliced bread, but it's not actually a game. It's a rat race. You're a rat. You're going to think it's a game. You're going to think it's the best game ever. You're going to work every day. That's what we are on YouTube. Every day we create all this great content on YouTube and we don't get shit. So they're going to give the 19-year-old the same option. You will own nothing and you're going to be happy. How do you own nothing and be happy? Well, I'm 19. I like playing a video game and I like my hot chips and my soda. I don't really like friends and girls. I got friends and I got girls on the internet. You will own nothing. You will be happy. Just in case you didn't understand how it breaks down, because I know a lot of older people be like, that don't make no sense. You will own nothing. You will be happy. That's bullshit. Yeah, that's not true for you. But that little boy in there who played a video game all day long, if you told him he could play a video game and pay his rent, don't they want to grow up and be a YouTuber? Don't they want to grow up and be a video gamer? Ain't that the biggest thing that could be? YouTuber or streamer? What's a streamer? Like Kai Sinet. Streamer is someone who play, and it's the weirdest thing that happened over the past few years. When I go visit my little cousins, what are they doing? They watching TV, and what are they doing? They watching someone else play video games. I'm like, why don't you just play the video game? Why don't you just play the video game? Instead, they watch other people play games. That's what's popular right now. My little nephews and shit, they watch other people play video games. They don't watch cartoons. They don't watch TV. They watch people who they like who play video games. They don't play the games themselves. You will own nothing. You will like it. That's how you do it. Half the kids watching others play Roblox on YouTube. Ready? It's weird. It is weird. It's so weird that same it's so weird that's how you get to the scenario I'm saying. To me and you, it's weird, but to them it makes sense, and they would be okay with a UBI, and they would be okay with a life in the Oasis. They're so far removed from what we know is fun and what we know is cool. I said to my wife, what happened to cool? They're so far removed from what we know is fun and what we know is cool. What's cool to them is an avatar. Just like on Oasis. They're so far removed on what an idea of cool is and what an idea of fun is, to where outside is a thing. To me and you, that's weird. Anybody 40 plus, that's weird. What do you mean I'm outside? Where else are you going to be? We outside. That's weird to anybody born there who's an 80s baby. Because you had to be outside all day. I'm a latchkey kid, man. I'm a latchkey kid, man. I'm outside. My mama didn't come home, man. I was saying that earlier in the podcast. I was trying to stay to 5. I'm a latchkey kid, man. I'm outside, man. At the boys club, at the gym. I went to summer camp for 2 weeks. I'm outside. We had to stay gone because mama didn't have no food to be in the house all day eating food, didn't have no lights and PG&E, because if you in the house, you got the TV and the lights on, so no, you got to be outside all day. That's what Friday, that's why we love Friday, because you had to be outside. Just get your ass outside. You ain't got no job. You can't be in the house because it costs money for you to be in the house. You're going to eat, drink, shit, flushing the toilet costs money. You might break the toilet. No, go outside till I get home. So literally, you got to find something to do as a child for 8 to 10 hours. That's how Smokey and them almost end up dead, man, because you got to find something to do for 8 to 10 hours in the ghetto, man, because your monkey ass ain't allowed the house till your mama come home, man. Oh, man, because it costs too much money. So when they say I'm outside, we like, okay. Okay, you outside. Good. What does that mean? We had to be outside, man. Wasn't no daycare, wasn't nobody to watch us. We had the invention of the microwave and TV dinners, man. You know what I'm saying? We was the first. Pizza Pockets was new to y'all. Y'all like love Pizza Pockets. What else is new to y'all? What's them ones? The Hot Pocket, Flush Pocket. All that shit new to you. I remember that when that shit came out, man, because we was outside, man. Let me shut this bitch down, man. Let me shut this bitch down. Good podcast. And it went kind of late. Hella build up. Y'all have a good night.